Twitter because I didn't have to see Britt Baker's face or anything. You know what I mean? And like, and especially for the last month, I didn't watch anything of wrestling. And I was so happy that I didn't have to see that woman. And like the first thing that happened when I got back to Twitter after being like locked out for a week is someone replying to a tweet of mine with a promo from her, like the Serena Deep thing. And I'm like, why? You know,
I mean,
like,
at least you didn't have to see her at Full Gear. You know, I personally,
I was so happy with that. I was happy with that because like that was gonna be like the first wrestling pay-per-view that I'm watching, the first show like that I'm watching in a full month. If I had to see her wrestling, that I was gonna be off for another month. You know, like that was really, really. I haven't watched the Acclaim though, so that's like.
At least listen, look. I think Britt's been cooking lately, and I think her and Serena D might do.
Cooking what?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Cooking what?
You know, I feel like you guys are really hard on my friends Camille and Britt. You know what I mean? My good friends.
Camille? Is your friend now? So?
Let's just, you know.
I'm sorry, she's not.
That's a weird circle of friends you got over there.
Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't you got them over there, bro. You gotta cape
like, did you realize like Mercedes like best match since he left WWE, Camille wasn't next to her. She wasn't there.
That's because
like all of her best matches.
She gave her the white woman blessing backstage before she went out. You know what I mean? And then she did what she had to do.
You know all about that, don't you, Uber?
No, I do not. But but thank God we're not on air because you know people love the Britt Baker Anna thing. But let's try to be positive. You know what I mean? Let's try to.
Yeah, she wasn't even on the show, bro. Like,
she wasn't even on the show.
This is not.
That's like the one. That's like the one thing that is really sad because I can't talk shit about her today.
I'm sure you'll find a way. You'll find a way.
We'll probably figure it out. We got to go live soon, though. And so hopefully the people are excited. Hopefully the people are revved up. Let's like, let's just smiles on, you know what I mean? All the stuff, revving and acts and all that shit. So we'll go live.
Yeah, do your breathing techniques. I'll give you a chance,
Absolutely.
Ibu's got to do his weird rituals while we
My rituals.
I'll give you a chance actually. I'll hit the countdown.
Sure, yeah, we'll do it now. Yeah. And we are fucking live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WrestlePurists Worldwide. I'm your host, Ibu WrestlePurists, better known to many of you guys as Backup Hangman. And I'm joined by the boss man, by the big man, the guy in charge, the HNIC, Montel WP. But we're also joined by a returning Anna. Anna's back. She's ready to go. She's positive. She definitely hadn't been hating on anybody in the last 3 minutes. She's ready to talk about AEW Full Gear, a show that we all loved so much, so very, very much. AEW, we love you. Tony, if you're watching this, please talk to me again. We're ready to go. We're charged up. We're fired up. I love you, Tony. Please don't be mad at me. We're gonna have a great show tonight.
Come on,
you know what I mean? Sean Rossap, you're the best. God bless you, man. Go Fightful. You know what I mean? WrestlePurists Monty. I got that email, brother. You know what I'm saying? So tonight's gonna be an awesome podcast, and we're gonna talk about Full Gear. We're gonna talk about how CM Punk is fucking back. It's not Seth Rollins. He wasn't the guy who was the fifth man in WarGames like you fucking losers thought he was going to be. No, it's CM Punk. He's fucking back. He's not in the bloodline, but he's in WarGames, which means he's going to save that stipulation and probably bleed. So we're going to talk about that. Probably Cody and Kevin Owens is going to come up as well. And whatever else you guys want to talk about. So I'm excited. We got 2 hours for you guys. We're going to talk. We're going to hang out. read your super chats, all that stuff. And me, Anna, and Monty are going to put smiles on your faces talking about an awesome, tremendous AEW pay-per-view with nothing but great fucking matches up and down this fucking show that was just so exciting and exhilarating and just awesome. You know what I mean? So, guys, make sure to like the video.
He's been compromised, bro. It's sad to see. He's in full PR butt mode.
Make sure to subscribe to WrestlePurists. You know what I mean?
Hope Vans pulled up, you know.
Make sure.
This is what happens when I'm gone. You know, like I'm gone for 1 month. Ibu just loses his mind completely.
He thought he was safe going to Full Gear, you know, but yeah.
I have some stories
taken
about
it to the closet, and
I genuinely got jumped by a couple fans, but nevertheless, guys, make sure to send your humper chats. We'll read them all throughout the night and all that stuff. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a good fun time tonight. Anna's back. It's all happy, all smiles, all that good stuff. I'm gonna pass it to Anna first. Anna, how are you doing? How much wrestling have you watched? What's going on with you? What's the updates? Talk to the people.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm so happy to be back. You know, I've been gone for the past month, I think now. Like around then. Like first there was like weird people on Twitter, and then after I got sniped on Twitter for calling people weird and saying they should, die. But, I don't regret. Yeah, they should. I don't regret anything.
No.
But I haven't really watched a lot of wrestling since I've been gone. I was actually like touching grass, going out, doing stuff. And now I'm back and I watched Full Gear, which was an interesting thing to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's some positive things to talk about for sure, but I don't know if I can help you on your quest to like be on Tony's good side again, Ibu.
Tony, I love the show. I love the fucking show.
I don't know if I'll be the one for that, Tony. I'm sorry, but like
Tony, this show was so good, dude. I loved it so much.
And of course, like CM Punk had to wait for me to come back for him to come back. No, I couldn't have like peace at all. I was so happy, like, okay, I don't have to deal with Britt Baker. I don't have to talk about her, like, comment about a match that she had or something. But then, of course, CM Punk decided, like, you know what? Like in time.
I was about to say something, but I forgot we were on air. Yes, he's back.
We win some, we lose some, but
absolutely. I'm excited. We're so glad you're back, Anna. Worldwide isn't worldwide without you. You're the third piece of the puzzle. The other piece is Monty. How are you doing, boss man? You're excited for tonight's Worldwide?
I'm doing good, but like all this way you're behaving is like it's creeping me out, bro. It's making me all uneasy and shit, you know. Like, we got 2 hours of this, you know.
I'm just happy and excited, you know what I mean? I'm just ready to go.
You've been compromised, bro.
I'm totally not on any substance right now, you know. I'm totally just
traumatized, yeah.
I totally was not pressed by black vans. I was totally not held at gunpoint for my actions. I'm totally not in hot water with any wrestling. I'm totally not in trouble. But last night was Full Gear, guys. Listen, give us your thoughts.
Last night.
Whatever, you know. Saturday was Full Gear. We'll get into that, guys. Get your super chats in now about your opinions on the show, your opinions on what happened on SmackDown, your opinions on the future of wrestling, your opinions on the world. Actually, don't give me that, but just send your super chats in now. And while you do it, I'm going to tell a quick little story. So, I don't publicly declare that I'm going to wrestling shows anymore on Twitter because that's very dangerous. And in spite of that, I was still spotted by a lot of people. And my brother can attest to this, Monty. He was bothering me the whole time. He's like, "We're gonna be late. We're gonna miss the Costco guy match." And you
can't do that, bro.
And we're going in, right? And he's like, "Dude, I bet you it's happening now." And I'm like, "We'll be fine. We're heading to our seat. We're trying to find our seat." And then the first guy is like, "Ibu." I'm like, "Hey, man." And I'm talking to this guy, and like he's brother, and he's basically like, "Hey, can you like retweet my stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. God, I have no clue who you are, but go for it, you know. Hey, can you follow me back?" "Yeah, no problem, man." My brother's being very patient and polite in the background. Then we continue walking, and another one, "Ibu?" And at that point, you see him roll his eyes. Man, fuck this! And he just leaves me. He just leaves me. And then this guy's talking.
You did
about,
the right
like,
thing, bro. You know, I couldn't stand there and watch all that happening either. You know,
so this other
nasty
guy,
business, bro.
You know, this guy's talking about like hockey and stuff or whatever, and I'm like, you know, being nice and talking to him or whatever and engaging. And then after this one, I'm like, all right, let's go see the Costco guys. And another one, hey, is that Ibu? And I was like, oh fuck, you know. But so my brother left me. I catch up to him, right? And we're finally finding our seats, right? This lady's like, you're gonna be in this section, blah 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 blah. I look up and all I see is boom, and it's like a power bomb, and I'm like, no, it's over. And then 1, 2, 3, I'm like, oh, we missed it. My brother just turns around and gives me a death stare, and then just doesn't say anything. We just go to our seats. So that was fine. But later in the show, if you're listening to this podcast, identify yourself. A guy runs up to me and he goes, stop talking about Jay White, bro. Stop fucking tweeting about Jay White, bro. I see your Jay White tweet. I was like, no. Guy just yelling at me about Jay White. So that was
it was Jamie.
What's up? No, it wasn't. A guy just runs up on me and he's like, stop. He's like, I saw you the whole show, bro. I saw what you were saying. Stop tweeting about Jay White. Stop fucking posting about Jay White. So
that's insane to just go like to someone's face to talk about their opinions on Twitter. Like, come on.
You think that was crazy?
It's kind of beast. You know?
And when I was leaving,
for Jay White, for Jay White,
and another guy, as I'm leaving, was like, "Yo, he basically, you don't know me, but like, you went to high school with a guy I know." And I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, "Yo, bro, I like your tweets. Stop coming at Drake, bro. Stop tweeting about Drake, bro." And I was like, "What the fuck?" this guy drags me into a Drake debate, but
it's real out there, bro.
That's Newark, New Jersey. You know.
That's why AO's smart, bro. That's why AO's smart. You know.
I should have stayed in Abbey. Should have stayed in Abbey.
Nah, you can do that. You know. You can do
that.
We pressured Ibu to be a professional.
It's just showing my face and using my real name.
Getting rid of that Adam Peters, you know.
That was a bad move. You know, now I get all these DMs like, I saw you on the train to Queens. And I'm like, all right, dude. Like, all right, bro. But let's get into these super chats. Let's start the fun.
All right, we got quite a lot stacked up, so appreciate you. Everyone you sent them in, but we're gonna have to keep it moving even with the extra time. So final boss 199. Paul leaving with Pong and not Rome is interesting.
Listen, Paul Heyman's a slut. You know what I mean? So like, you know,
real.
Darren Walker, £5. A big thank you to Ibu and the Late Night Green crew for their review of WCW Mayhem 1999. I can't wait for WCW reviews from 2000 with Ibu and Joe.
For context for everyone and for Anna, so I saw that Joe was going to do a watch along of an old wrestling pay-per-view on Sunday, and I saw the options, and there's like WWF Rebellion 01, which is a special UK show in 01, and the card looked really cool, and the main events were Jericho versus Kurt Angle and Rock versus Austin, and I was like, I've never seen that. That looks interesting. I want to watch that. The other one was WWE Taboo Tuesday 05. The main event was like Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, John Cena. I'm like, I've never seen that. That looks good. Then there was like a TNA show. I forgot which one it was, but I'm like, that looks good. I want to watch that. So I told Joe, I'm signed in. I'm going to do this watch along. And there's a bunch of voting options. The only bad show was WCW Mayhem 99, which is like an awful pay-per-view, right? And because wrestling Twitter loves to fucking troll me, they vote for Mayhem. And it's winning. And then I tweet midweek, hey guys, can you stop voting for Mayhem? And then like they voted Mayhem more. And like it won by a comfortable distance. So
like, what did you expect?
I was like, hey guys, stop voting. And they're like, LOL, and they just voted it. So yeah, I watched that last night. It was fucking horrendous. It was really, really, really bad. Like one of the worst shows I've ever seen. The only two good matches on the show featured a guy that I can't mention legally on air. So take that as you may. But you know, his first name is Chris, and you know,
redacted. That's what Goldberg versus Sid didn't do it for you, you know.
No, it had like a shitty. Goldberg was doing like weird, shitty MMA. I was like, "Where's the fucking spears? Like, what the fuck?"
Let me see this card.
Oh, it was so. Look it up on Cage Match, man. Like it.
Yeah.
It's just so. It was just so bad. Like.
Yeah, it's not even like funny bad. It's just kind of like
no, like it was just bad. I'm pretty sure David Flair fought like Kimberly Page. It was just dog shit.
Disco Inferno.
Darren Walker, £2. Appreciate you. Statlander should beat Mariah May in 2025 for the title.
I'm so good on this title reign, to be completely honest with you. It's not doing it for me.
Statlander could beat her for the title like next month, honestly.
She's one of the best women's wrestlers in the entire nation, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Chris, $4.99, appreciate you. Darby in the C2 about to be the best run of TV matches since AEW launched, yes or no?
Here's the thing, Chris. Darby Allin's one of the greatest TV wrestlers in the history of pro wrestling. So, yeah, every match will be at least good, and a number of them will be great.
Don't know, $1.99. What are your most anticipated C2 matches?
Ospreay and Darby.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one. I was gonna say any Ospreay match for me is just
right.
I'm locked in. Yeah.
I feel like such a basic bitch, Anna, because like I gotta be honest, like a part of me wants to like look at Ospreay and turn my nose and be like, he's not that good. And then like I watch him, I'm like, oh, this fucking rules.
Yeah.
It's like this fucking
like I get Meltzer, you know what I mean? Like if it was me giving the ratings, it would be the same thing. Like come on, man.
His matches hit even more in person because it's like you just got done watching like, you know, something okay, and then he comes on and I'm like, all right, strap in, and then he's just having his fucking sequences and shit. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. Don't know 199. Oh no, we already read this anticipated ones of the Ospreay stuff. Don't know 199. Beast Mortal's gonna go 6-0. By the way, he probably is gonna like lose most of his matches. Truthfully,
1-5. You know,
he's definitely losing most of his matches.
But I'm excited to see his matches as well. Yeah.
Jumboli, $5. TK dropping a 12-minute video for the C2 on a Sunday night. He's diabolical. The Costco guys taught him nothing.
Yeah, his sense of promoting is very strange. Like he could have done this on pay-per-view. He could have did this on any of the TVs that he ran this week. People have been asking him about the C2 lineups. He could have did a ceremony.
It was at 10:30 as well.
Yeah, like it's not strange. It's just bad, you know. Like it's like he wants people not to care about it because it's been months now that people be like, oh, I wonder like what the lineup could be. So he could have done something, you know, like one day of the week he like was gonna reveal a participant, like something like a ceremony, whatever. Just like milk it and make people care. But if you just release all of the people at once on a Sunday evening for no reason, it's just like on the week that the thing is gonna start, you know, like.
Anna, what makes it funnier is like, so he. Last second, we find out that he's going to do this YouTube live stream that reveals it, right? And you're like, all right, then I'll watch this thing and, you know, get excited for it. And then, like, right before the video drops, like, the official full lineup is, like, on, like, Twitter and it's on, like, the website. And I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, why couldn't one of these wrestlers, like, after the matches that they've had on TV, just, like, get interviewed by Shibani in the ring and be like, Tony, I am now entering myself in the C2 or whatever. Why can't we have, like, C2 qualifiers or all kinds of stuff? There's so many different ways to make it.
Anything.
Yeah, there's so many ways to make it feel exciting and cool. We've seen, and I've been saying this on this channel for 2.5 years, but like we see how the Japanese wrestling tournaments are handled, for example, you know, and like the pageantry and the pop and circumstance, the ceremony, the fucking cool tracksuits that they'll wear, them all being in the ring, whatever. You know, the CML, they do the Grand Prix every year where everyone's in the ring and you got the guys in the playing the trumpets and the marching bands. Like, make it feel special, you know? It's
professionals over there, though, you know?
But give me some razzle dazzle, man. It's like, here it's just, hi, I'm Tony Schiavone, and this is the C2 lineup on this Twitter video.
Like he's asking people not to give a fuck. It's crazy.
They learned nothing from last year, man.
I say this constructively, though, Tony, because I do love you, buddy.
No, honestly, I need to say, like, it is constructive if he listens to it, if he doesn't, like, feel defensive about it, you know? Like, if he keeps getting defensive about it and thinking the way he does things is, like, the only way and is the best way, then it's never gonna get better. So, like, some things you just gotta hear. And if it's bad, it's bad, you know? Like, we're talking about it because we want it to be better next year. And, like, as a fan, it's already hard to see that and be like, and if you're like, come on, man. We're like,
the bottom line,
who's studying marketing and communication is just
right.
Like, that's the bare minimum.
Exactly.
For people to tune in.
You get it. It's like, dude, like, look, man, we all like wrestling matches and we want to see good wrestling matches. But my brother always talks about it, man. He wants things to feel grand and grandiose and the epicness. And we see the New Japan packages for their big shows and how fun that is and the ceremonies. To me, it's just like, dude, man, give me some foreplay, Tony. Like, can we, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, spice it up, brother. Like, you know, like, come on. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess he just doesn't like to waste time. He just goes right for it. But that's I don't know.
But then you don't have time to like build excitement as well.
No, that's the thing. I want to like anticipate this thing and be able to like fantasy book like outcomes, because like imagine if you gave people a week ahead of time to go like, man, if this guy goes this much in the block and he faces this guy, that's going to be interesting. But like instead you have 2 days to kind of do that, and then the tournament starts. So whatever, you know, if they're not going to listen, and so be it.
Yeah, they're just it's not good at the promoting part of owning the wrestling company, you know.
Which should be like the main thing. But
it's the main thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate his words. The Costco goals won me over. That spear boy, the kid, better than Goldberg. When they return in 2025, who should the next match be against?
Jericho's going to angle for a match, which I don't want to see.
My God.
But you know he's going to want to do it, and he's going to be like, hey guys, you want to bring the boom? Well, I can bring the learning, dude. You know, just whatever the fuck. And yeah, but
that would be enough to make me like never watch wrestling again. No joke, honestly. And like the Costco guys, I didn't even know who they were. Like I had never seen anything. Like I remember asking in one of the streams that we were doing, I was like, who even are, like, what do they do? But actually they did win me over a little bit.
Anna,
like you could see the whole promotion that they were doing, you know, like everything, they were actually like putting the effort, and you could see they were so excited to be a part of it, and they were like passionate about it as well. Like it was nice seeing that, you know, especially like we're talking AEW doesn't really do that much, so it was really nice seeing like them going everywhere and talking about it. And like when they were going in, you could see how happy and excited they were to be there. And the fact like the Rizzler, that little child, he has better camera awareness than like half the wrestlers on the roster. So every time the camera showed him, he was like,
here's the thing about the Costco guys, because
so beast.
When I first saw him, I just was like, I don't care for this. Like I don't like, why would I be moved by this? I'm a grown man. And so I didn't think anything of it, and I was just kind of like, this is just content for like, you know, toddlers scrolling TikTok and like Monty or something. I don't know, but and then I was like, all right, good for them, I guess. Then they announced him for AEW. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's on Rampage, whatever. And then I don't know what it was, but something in the last week, I was like, I like these guys, you know. And there's a fat kid in the group, and like, here's the thing about American entertainment. A key tenet of entertainment is you need a fat kid just existing, because there's just something about it that's just like, it's just American, it's just traditional. And he's gonna have a short prime. There's gonna be a point where he's gonna get taller, and he's gonna have a deeper voice, and he's not gonna be like obese anymore. But for this short period where he is the Rizzler, you need to get this kid on movies and TV shows and everything. That little chin thing he does is amazing. Like it just cuts to him, and he does that little kind of like nose tap, side swipe, and then like the chin thing is, it's incredible. So they won me over, and their match was fun.
Yeah. It generally got me. Like I feel like I was a teenage boy watching them, because I was like, it popped me.
It's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Darren.
Michael, so dope. Ricochet, if I see one rest hold in the C2, I'm calling you a slut. Lol, just kidding. No, hold on. Whoa.
We will we'll get to Trevor Mann later in the show.
Whoa. Anyway, David Camp, $4.99. Disgraceful rumors of troublemakers doing CM Punk chants at the Prudential Center. Awful behavior that can't be tolerated. Who are these people, Ibu?
All right, so Jack Perry comes out, and there's a faint CM Punk. And I'm like, all right, you know, I'm in Newark, like, fuck it, let me join in. So I'm like, yeah, CM Punk. And right across me to my left, this old white woman's like, shut the fuck up! Get alive! He's in the bloodline now! And I was like, he's not gonna fuck you! I was like, whoa, lady, please. And she was so mad. Like, if you look at her face, right? If we were closer, she 100% would have like tried to claw at my face. And so I start chuckling, and I look at my brother. He was like, yo, you got to be careful, bro. So I was like, hey, I'm going to sit out now. But the thing is, 2 more CM Punk chants broke out after that. And I was like, I will not participate in any of these. And then after the second one, it's like, yeah, I was like, nah, I'm going to just be quiet. And then this like fat guy stands up, and he takes his like COVID mask off, and he's like, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I'm like, yo, oh my God.
So emotional, man. What's going on over there?
And then I just
the lady did nothing wrong.
And I popped my section because I just said, like, it gets quiet. I just went like, people are really still mad about this, huh? And people start chuckling. But the thing is, there was a couple behind me, right? There's this Asian couple behind me, and they were chill the whole night. And it was just funny because, like, quietly, like, the wife just goes, CM Punk's a bitch. So I was kind of like, all right, yeah, like, cool. But the funniest part of the whole thing was the lady going, he's in the bloodline now. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I was just popping myself, and then I saw I almost got shot, so I was like, let me leave that alone.
Jacob Donnelly, $5. Punk and Jacob Fatu giving back-to-back punches with Crimson Mask gonna send me to heaven.
I reached out to how can I word this? Do you remember, Monty? I said last week that I asked the Punk camp, hey, are you the hidden fifth man in WarGames? And if you remember, I told you that the Punk camp left me on scene for that. And when Punk camp leaves you on scene, it means that you're correct in your assessment and they can't confirm or deny. No, they changed the topic on me, which was like, all right, so this guy's in the WarGames, you know what I mean? But I asked this week, I was like, hey, are you guys gonna bleed? You know, and I did like the puppy eye emoji, like, are you guys gonna bleed? And I got the reply of, I'm gonna do what I want. So there you go.
Vernacular 199. We're smoking on that Chase U pack. #Reach. Grow up, man. Come on. Doing Ridge propaganda in the super chats. Come on.
Ridge Holland.
Berserk, $10. Appreciate you. Full Gear was cool. Personally, really hope AEW chill with the finisher kickouts. I felt it got really stale quickly. Exception was the Max kickout after the briefcase shot. Mox kickout after the briefcase shot. Legit made my heart stop.
I think the only reason why it felt this way at Full Gear was because more than most pay-per-views, there was a bunch of singles, non-step back and forth wrestling matches. And so seeing them all in succession, back to back to back, you start to kind of see the similarity in like match layouts and that kind of thing. I'm like just used to it because I watch modern wrestling, but my brother did kind of go like, God damn, man. And I do take the Dave Meltzer philosophy on this when it comes to that, in the sense that like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like the big point where it was really effective was Mercedes and Statlander, where the near falls absolutely heightened the drama of that match and made it better. And then there's other matches.
The third match in the show, though, wasn't it? So
sure, but I'm just saying, like it very specifically became like the story of the match. Whereas like Jack Perry and Garcia, like I'd rather this just end. You know what I mean? I'd rather this just end and like we move on, please. So, you know,
guys, I just want to say, like, okay, I just got a message from my roommate telling me to be quieter, so just let me know if I'm talking to you.
That is hilarious.
And she's like in the floor below me, like her room is below me, and she just texted me like, you're being very loud, can you be quiet? Like,
oh my god.
So if it's too low, just let me know, but like I'm gonna try
fine.
Yeah.
That's insane. Could you imagine?
You'll do what you can.
It never happened. It never happened before.
No. Could you imagine, Anna, if like she just opened that door behind you and was just kind of like, hey,
like I receive a full fucking paragraph. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ. You weren't even yelling.
$2. When I catch that Kiwi mid-carder and that bum Tony Khan.
Hey man, you know, I got jumped for my Jay White take, so I won't say any further. And people like to run up on me in Newark over Jay White, so again, I won't speak without my lawyer.
I mean, I'm not going to any shows. I'm not going to any shows soon. So like Jay White, for me, he's just not it. Like he's good. He has chemistry with Hangman. He's he can have good matches, but I don't know. I just don't see it. Anyway, sorry guys.
I think he's very good for whatever it's worth. But anyway, Ricky Worley, 199. Kung Fu Kenny did it again.
Yes, he did. Mar dropped the new album. Drake is now suing him, and he's suing Spotify. No, he is.
He's not suing Kendrick.
He's suing Spotify and shit or whatever. Right? Yeah. What a fucking crybaby.
Yeah, it's not exactly the greatest, the greatest reaction.
He was on a stream.
Definitely not gotten to on XQC streams on Kick.
Yeah, he was on a stream on Kick where he's just kind of like, look at me, my mind, body, and soul. I'm good. See, none got to me because only fairy tales can't get me. Only facts can get me. And it was just like, all right, buddy. And then the Weeknd's music plays, and he was like, Yo, change that song, bro. Change that song. And it's like, all right, dude. You're 40. Like,
He's all right. He's all right. $5, appreciate it. The pot Costco man gets when he shows up in future casino gauntlet will change.
that should happen. That
100% at Wembley.
All in Texas.
Boom. Hey man, Costco guy is a better boom guy than the other boom guy in AEW, but I digress.
I was gonna say, I don't call you. You lost the rights to the boom.
Darren Walker, £5, appreciate it. Anyone see the Bully Ray interview with Julia? How can anyone not like Bully? What a good guy he is.
You're pushing it with that, but very, very charming interview. He clearly got sauced up halfway through, and it was one of those funny interviews because like Julia's is being adorable and all that shit, right? But I pointed this out. Bully does this thing in this interview that a lot of Americans do to people whose first language isn't English, where he thinks he's going to help them understand better by like speaking in an accent and speaking slower. So he's talking to her and he literally goes, I don't know if you saw this clip, Anna, but he goes, what is difference between American style and Japanese style? And she's just kind of like, oh yeah, the difference is this. She just like talks normally. He goes, what is difference between American style? And she's like, oh yeah, the Japanese style is less than American is on TV and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, Bully, you don't have to talk like that.
And the most insane part is like she has an accent, but she's like fluent in English. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not because someone has an accent that they don't understand.
No, like, and Bully clearly thought because he's trying to get her to say funny things in English, right? And so he's saying like, Tommy Dreamer has big ass, and she's just kind of like, oh, she makes a face like, you want me to say that? Like, really? It's just
pretty embarrassing, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Darren, too far. Go Birds, $4.99. Appreciate you. Who is the brother politics circle in AEW?
In case you missed this is a reference to when I was talking about the WWE brother politics circle, which I said it's Cody, Punk, Roman, and Randy. That's the only people. Oh, and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
And Becky.
You can't forget the queen. You can't forget the queen.
Yes. And Becky. Triple H is afraid of Becky Lynch, but that's the brother politics circle of WWE. The brother politics circle of AEW.
Jericho. Britt.
Jericho's no longer in the brother circle. He used to be for a long time.
Thank God.
John Moxley. It's John Moxley. And right now it might just be him, to be completely honest with you. MJF used to be firmly in the brother circle, but doesn't care enough anymore. So he's no longer in the brother circle.
Mercedes?
Kinda. But firmly right now, John Moxley. So there you go. Not as big of a circle. 2 years ago, it was a very different and funnier circle. Like 2 years ago, it was like CM Punk and like Chris Jericho and a couple other dudes.
Broadway Joe, $5. When Trevor said he was Kobe Bryant with it, he meant post 2020. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Black Yakuza 94, $10. Full Gear was a good show on the weaker end for AEW, but given the output this year, that means it's still better than most shows. Matches I cared about were good. Welcome back, Anna. We missed you.
We all missed Anna.
Thank you so much. I missed you guys so much as well.
This show had a lot of flaws, and it wouldn't be like among the all-time AEW pay-per-views, but I wouldn't put it in the lower end either. Because like when I think low end, I think like last year's Full Gear with that awful MJF Jay White business, and I think like World's End. And like I didn't really like this year's what was it? I think it might have been Double or Nothing or what's the crossover show called? Forbidden Door. I didn't really like that show outside of the main event. This had a couple great matches. So like I think this is more like middle of the pack where like a couple things outside of those three great matches kind of took it down a bit. But I'd put it more in the middle of AEW pay-per-views personally.
Yeah, for me it was more forgettable than most.
And Jean PN, $2. 4-way, huh? Hashtag who asked for this? Hashtag impeach TK.
Well, hanger select here. Yes, 100% locked in. As of last week, midweek, the main event of World's End is a fatal 4-way match between Christian Cage, John Moxley, Hangman Page, and Jay White. That is your title match. That is the main event of World's End. Hashtag who asked for this? Hashtag I don't know. The original plan, I'll tell you guys this. and I don't want to get shot again, so I'm not going to say what the match was. But the original planned match for Jon Moxley, I'll tell you guys this, it was 17 times worse. So there was a plan for a match that
I like this. Like, I don't know.
I don't love it, but I don't like. It's like whatever. John was gonna have a singles match with somebody, and Twitter would have rioted, so they didn't do it. And Tony squashed that idea, and so now they're going with this 4-way. And I'm kind of like whatever on it personally.
I mean, it's gonna be good. So
yeah, you know,
it's Hangman in a match. It's Moxley. Like,
come
on.
4-ways are just. I guess. It's like I'm in
like
the ring, and I'm doing my move, and then I'm gonna roll out, and it's like now I'm rolling in and do my move, and then you hit me, now I'm gonna sell on you outside for 4 minutes. Now I'm in. Blade Runner, shit, Buckshot Larry, no, Death Rider, wait, no, but Christian comes in to break up the pin. We're all locked out. This is awesome. Fight forever. This is AEW. Look, I don't know, man. You know, it's just like
in Hangman we trust.
Okay. I do. He's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. You know.
Izura Hart, $20. Putting Ricochet on Fraud Watch hurts. Hope this C2 will turn things around. Can't call who I want to win. Making it for a mid-card total is annoying. In New Japan, it'd be Darby over to face. Marks here, I don't know. Fletcher, maybe.
All I know is that I have no real person that I desperately need to win this. All I know is this: based off what you did with him on the pay-per-view, Kyle Fletcher has to be booked really strong in this tournament because you can beat Ospreay and not have it mean something. That has to mean something tangible. So if AEW decided to just fucking have him beat Okada, and I'd be like, well, that's what you should do creatively if he's gonna beat Will Ospreay. So you got to commit to things. If you're gonna pick a guy and push him, then fucking do it. You know what I mean? You don't half-ass. Don't just go all the way in with it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my only thing on it. It's just Fletcher needs to be really strong in this tournament, personally.
Yeah, if he doesn't win, he should at least be in the final. That was the first thing that I thought after watching the Ospreay match as well. And I think it is a very strong possibility for the way they're booking him and the way that it shows they really like him, they really want to push him. It would make sense, especially seeing the whole block he's in and stuff. It does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that I'm running back to 2023. I don't know what you'd call it, gimme. We're repping Blue League again. That is a league that we will be repping 2 years in a row. Shout out the Blue League.
Gold League has a much better lineup, though.
Shut the fuck up.
It does.
Blue League.
We're
repping Blue League. That's what we're doing over here. And Mark Briscoe's going to win the whole thing, people. I'm telling you. It's happening. This is the year. This is our year. And we're doing it.
He's going to go 2-4, bro.
No, he's not, bro.
Why are you doing
the whole thing, bro?
Why are you doing this to yourself, Monty?
We're doing it again because we're running it back, bro. Blue League.
You don't.
Mark Briscoe for the win.
I want better for you. You know what I mean? I really just want. I want better for you.
You just sat over there with a straight face, even though I can't see it. We were talking about some. I ain't going there.
I'm right. Listen, you like to just overcommit to your takes, even when they're outdated and
No, I'm not. Dude. I was gonna say you don't even know what I was gonna say.
I know
exactly. I was gonna go in a completely different direction. You thought I was gonna say Fletcher, but I wasn't gonna go there.
You were, you piece of shit.
I wasn't.
That's the yellow side.
We can talk about Fletcher if you want.
Yeah, he's very good. And he's made a lot of improvements.
And Jan PN $2. They're letting the Big Chief team with jobbers now.
Come on, who? Are you talking about Roman and
Come on, bro. They got Bronson Reed in the match. Look, come on, bro.
Yeah, he's done very well for himself. See, this is what I mean about Monty. He just commits to these outdated takes, and then
people. He's still not good. Just because he's been getting a push, he's not good, bro.
He is.
He's not good.
Monty says this, and then he still dick rides Nia Jax.
So you're telling me, what? So you saying going into the last pay-per-view, this Seth match, it needs to be a good match for him. He needs to show what he can do. The rare tear, all this and that. Yeah, he goes out there and stinks it up with Seth, bro.
He didn't stink it up. He had an okay match. They had an okay wrestling match.
Come on.
Listen. Here's the thing. He did not have the blowaway match that I would have liked in
Stunk
Saudi.
it up, bro. Biggest match of his career. Biggest
had
match of his career. Biggest opportunity of his career, and he did niche, nothing, nada.
He had an okay match, and then guess what? On the rematch, much better, much more heated. They had a very good match on the main event of Raw. They did, and guess what?
With fucking all the interferences and shit, you know what I mean, and the drama and shit. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Did not look a monster when he.
Why is he in this match though? Why is he in the WarGames?
So basically, Sikoa was just rooting, like he was just recruiting another like monster to add to his team for the WarGames, and he went to Raw because he wanted to recruit Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins basically told him, "Go fuck yourself," because Seth was basically because the whole storyline, Anna, is like both teams are trying to get Seth, and Seth told Sammy like, "Bro, respectfully, how could you want me to team with Roman Reigns? I literally gave up my knee trying to take that guy down at WrestleMania. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with all of you?" And it's like, leave me alone. And so Solo later in the show was like, my man, we hate Roman too. And he's just kind of like, I don't like you either. Like, leave me alone, both of you guys. But since Solo was there, he was like, fuck it, I'll go for his op. And so he went for Bronson Reed. It was kind of like, yo, fat boy, you want to be on our team? And he was just kind of like, yeah.
Like, you know what's crazy? Like, I saw that match graphic and I didn't even notice that Bronson Reed was there. I was so confused when I saw the super chat. I was like, what are you talking about? In this match? Funny? I didn't even notice.
He did the wrestler thing of like trying to add his own lore on Twitter. He's like, Google Afakasi, guys, because that's the word for like if you have Samoan in your blood but you're not fully Samoan. And so because he clearly saw the people tweeting like, why is he in this match, and he clearly didn't like that, so he's like, oh, it's called Afakasi, guys, Google it, like look it up on the internet, guys, hello. So that is
embarrassing guy, bro. I just can't.
I made the tweet with like the meme of like, what is the polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? So like what is Punk doing in this match? And so many people were replying like, oh, but it's better than Bronson Reed. It makes more sense than Bronson Reed. And I was just reading those tweets and be like, what are they talking about Bronson Reed?
And then he's in the match. It's just funny that Reed on Twitter did the whole like I'm half Samoan thing, because that's not the story at all on TV. The story on TV is just like Bronson Reed wants to be a main eventer and he took the opportunity. And on Twitter he's like, so
I generally assumed that like I missed something, on Raw or SmackDown, that he was supposed to be on the match and then he got taken off, and that's why people are talking about Bronson Reed. I'm like,
you should be glad you missed, Anna. Twitter for like a week and a half was so annoying because they taped a bunch of Raw and SmackDowns in advance, and like the thing is, like when you watch the live show, like it's mixed with what was happening live as well as some like taped recorded segments that they added to the show that the live crowd didn't see. So there's a lot of spoilers going around that had people crashing out. They're like, why is Seth in this match? What the fuck? Why is this guy in this match? And stuff. It was really it was very chaotic, and I'm glad you didn't have to witness any of that. It was a lot of Kale. There's a lot of Kale. Yeah, I know you're in this chat. There's a lot of Kale just crashing out on my timeline and complaining about spoilers and things of that nature. But the bottom line, Monty, is Bronson.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Monty, the bottom line is Bronson's going to be fine. Him and Jacob Fatu were putting it in Roman's stomach last week, and it looked pretty good. So I think,
anyone fucking taking out Roman Reigns in an angle is going to look fucking good, bro.
Yes, exactly.
This is what I'm saying. But I don't like it, but yeah, I think Bronson Reed stinks. Yeah, you don't think he stinks, and you don't think he stinks. Yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean. You're my brother. We can move past that. Well, I can't move past it, but yeah, is when you try and make out like me thinking he stinks is this disingenuous take. Like, no, I don't really think he stinks, bro.
And the live chat can attest to this, guys. You guys know Monty. You know this yellow piece of shit, right? Here's the thing about Monty. He will commit to a take, right? And then new information will be presented to him, or somebody will get sincerely better. And like you can tell he's mad about it because he's like, "Fuck!" Not because the thing about Monty's,
but that hasn't happened here.
He likes to be
That's
right.
Not happened here.
First and foremost, Monty feels like he needs to be right about everything, right? Whereas me, I shat on AJ last year. Remember, I said, "Who gives a fuck about AJ Styles?" And then 3 months later, I was like, "Shit, my bad," So like, whatever, fuck it. Monty, he fucking folds his arms like, "No, man, he's still bad, bro. He's still fucking bad, bro." Kyle Fletcher's a good example. Monty last year thought Kyle fucking sucked, right? And did Kyle suck? A little bit. If we're being honest, he kind of sucked a little bit last year as a singles wrestler. As a singles whatever. And it's like, I do not co-sign. But he's steadily improved this year to a point where right now, at this current point in time, I think he's absolutely a prospect, very good, and on the pathway to being a star in this company. And he had the match of his fucking career. But because Monty's Monty, he's definitely, when we get to that match, he's going to fold his arms and be like, yeah, man, I mean, Ospreay's great, bro. I mean, what do you want me to say, man? In it, bro, say it.
That's not true. This is what I mean. Ibu's like projecting takes on me that I haven't even had and don't have, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, your only example was Kyle Fletcher, and I don't have that take on Kyle Fletcher, bro. Like, yeah, I thought he stunk last year when he's coming out with fucking red scribble on him and just doing nonsense and coming out in the cape and shit. We all did. We laughed about it. It was a good time. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know what I mean? He's a completely different wrestler now. He's got better. He's progressed well, and he's rewarding the push that he's been getting. So like,
Monty,
can we just take the super chat off the screen? This has been there for like 10 minutes.
Because it's been there too long now.
Nasty.
It's been there too
10
long.
minutes. It's nasty.
We read your super chat, Berkey. We read it mentally. We appreciate the support.
You've been using super chats to air his grievances about me, you know. I heard all those little sly shots in there. You know, it's okay. It's okay, bro. It's all right.
I don't have grievances. What I'm saying is,
hey man, no, it's okay, bro.
Here's the problem with the ring slander. If you can admit Nia sucks right now, I'll let it go.
Nia sucks right now.
Yes.
But she just had that decent. She just had a good match with Naomi.
Oh, come on.
But I'd say, but I will say, I'll give you what you want and say, because what your thing is that ever since she's been with Tiffany and that run with the title has not been good, and I'd agree with that. And I don't get where you get this idea from, but I think it's been this great thing, and I'm digging my heels in about it.
Because when Nia comes out, you start giggling, you kick your feet, you're pumping your fists. You know what I mean?
We don't watch any shows together, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just.
You're just making shit up, bro.
Can you admit?
I don't even do that to you. Oh,
can you admit this one thing?
If it's true, of course I will.
When Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu both got on the top rope, and Jacob did the moonsault and Bronson did the tsunami, it was cool.
Yeah, bro. Bronson Reed has been involved in a lot of cool shit, but none of it is like due to his like talent or anything like that, bro. It's just booking a big guy to do cool shit. Like, that's all it is.
What would he need to show you in WarGames?
His big moments were hitting the tsunami a gazillion times on Seth Rollins. That has nothing to do with talent, bro. Like, nothing.
Oh, come on.
That had nothing to do with talent, bro.
Execute the angle.
Bro, you could get any fat cunt to do that, bro. Come on. Anyone could do that. That has nothing to do with talent, bro. Nothing to do with talent.
So Monty,
I have to side with Monty on this one. I'm sorry.
So Monty, you think someone could just lay out an angle that will make Camille look godly right now?
Bro, listen, yeah. Take Bronson Reed, and who's like an okay like big man, and not washed
like
Otis.
Strowman.
Killian Dane.
Take a not washed Otis, yeah.
Okay.
Because Otis is fucked now. It's sad to see, you know, but he's fucked. But yeah, take a not washed Otis and give him this exact heel push that Bronson Reed has had, and you get the exact same results, bro. The exact same.
Well, Otis when he had
there's no X factor or nothing about Bronson Reed, bro.
The thing is, Otis when he had knees was awesome. That's the bit. Like, Otis was actually like awesome. You know,
you think Bronson Reed's awesome, don't you?
I think
this deep hatred for Bronson Reed. Like,
he hates him.
What did he do?
He thinks he's garbage, and I'm like, no, he's pretty good. Like, he's pretty solid.
He's just not good at all, bro.
And you
just do not care about him. Like, he's just a guy who's there. You know what I mean?
When Bronson would show up on Raw, like at the beginning of this year, Monty would DM me shit like, this is like the worst guy in the company. And I'm like, no, he's not. Like, no.
I had no idea that Bronson. I had no idea that Bronson Reed was Monty's Britt Baker. Like,
yes. And you know who's my Britt Baker? Everyone, Shinsuke Nakamura. That guy fucking
at least he was good at a point of his life, you know. That was not the case with either Britt or Bronson Reed, I assume.
No, Britt was beast in 2021.
Come on. Let's be realistic here.
Britt was doing some things, you know. She had the Thunder Roast.
Yeah, speaking of Britt,
what's up?
Speaking of Britt Baker, Ibu's
Right.
best friend, Berkey 199. Welcome back, the leader of the DMD fan club, Anna.
Yeah, we read it. Let's.
Listen, he had enough screen time anyway. Vacant 199 channeled my inner K-Dot when I screamed Anna.
Anna! Turn the TV off.
Thank you.
Kale 50 peso. Anna, there's one place you don't have to worry about a dentist. That's right, NXT. Live from the CW every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. # women's wrestling. Welcome back, Anna.
I will say, Anna, in your absence, Julia's been cooking. Julia has been cooking. And not only has she been cooking, they're doing these video packages where they're showing like Marigold footage and stuff, and she's talking about her lore. And like I've seen even some people have outright said she's having better performances here than some of her like Road 2 tags in the Marigold show. So, you know, I'm not gonna speak to that. But she's done very well.
Now she feels like it, you know, like now she wants to put the energy in. And how's Stephanie doing?
Look, they both come off like absolute stars.
Maybe even better.
Yeah,
she's they've both adapted really well. Stephanie seemed to be like kind of like more obvious that was going to happen with her. But you know, Julia, you know, she's unique, rough around the edges, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, exactly. But they've both adapted really well. The only thing I'd change about Julia's run so far is I'd probably have some more Funaki in there. You know?
Oh, come on.
That was so beast.
The only thing I would change is they need this, like they do like a little bit, not too much, but they do a little bit, try to like get them to kind of do the NXT skit thing where they talk to people backstage. And like Stephanie Vacquer is clearly like still learning how to speak English, and they're having her kind of going like, I'm ready for tonight's match, yeah, and like she'll like pump her fist, and I'm like, why are you making her do this? Like, why are you making her do that? But they've come off really well. They've come off really, really well. They teased the match with what was it, Io and Kyrie versus them two like a few weeks ago on TV, which was neat. But I'm actually pretty surprised at how smooth it's been going for Julia.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Ryan 699 Canadian. Ricky's GCW promo felt like a setup to a return, whether it's a short program or not to be seen.
I asked about it and in the afternoon when I asked like what's going on with the Ricky thing. He got the booking approved because anytime any AEW person gets an indie booking, they have to ask to take it. So they said go ahead. And beyond that, it wasn't AEW's call for him to cut that promo. But he was at Full Gear that night, and it was the first time he was at an AEW show to like communicate with Tony in months. And I'm talking months and months and months and months and months and months. I did ask afterwards, hey, how did it go? Like, how did the conversation go? And I got stonewalled. They didn't tell me anything, but he was there. He was not there the whole night. He left at some point in the night, but he was there. I don't know how the conversation went. There are no imminent plans to bring him back to television as far as I know. And that's all I can reveal publicly about that whole situation.
Let you Yakuza 94 $5. Let's be real. Kendrick dropping was the highlight of the entire weekend.
Yeah.
And champion, who let you boot into the Fletchlights army?
I lead the Fletchlights army now. Look, Kyle Fletcher is he's that nigga now. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I saw the white gear in the shooter sleeve, and I was like, oh, hold on a second. You know, so yeah, man. Kyle Fletcher's for the bad bitches in Ibu, you know.
Hush 199. I've seen enough. Big AJ is greater than Cody's true American hero.
Let's slow down on that because Cody Rhodes,
facts.
He has the greatest American ability of all, which is gaslighting your friends. You know what I mean? And so
Shirakawa Spurs $10. Appreciate you. Full Gear was up and down, but I feel like most of the important matches delivered. Mercedes stat wine glasses. Ending was a little slow, but glad that all the names involved are big and important. I mean,
yeah, there's one match I was looking forward to that I didn't like, but most of the other ones I liked. And I thought the people that needed to have great performances last night did. Like John Moxley was fantastic on that show, to be honest. And I haven't even been crazy about the Orange Cassidy storyline. And Mercedes had the match she really needed to have. Like, I thought it was one of those do or die moments. Like, she really needed to have a match that good with Statlander, and she did.
Hush 199. I'm surprised Big Rome, Greenlink, Punk, KO next.
I will report this. If you think that would have happened without Roman's blessing, you need to understand that he is the mob boss of this promotion. And he did greenlight CM Punk, which is very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Also interesting, Monty, was everybody talked about the Punk quote about AEW from the Rosenberg interview, but the actual most interesting thing about that interview was Peter Rosenberg asked him, like, where do you stand with Roman Reigns right now? Are you guys cool? And Punk didn't want to answer that question. So very interesting, but seems Roman's fine enough with him to work with him on TV, which is very interesting.
Seth is clutch. I am boycotting the C2 since there is no Bandido.
Understandable.
He's still injured, no?
No, he's clear. I mean, well, he told people he's cleared and he's ready to go.
Andrew 199. Jay White dance routine finish sucks. Hashtag free Hangman.
He looks like he's doing the tango when he like starts to transition out of like Blade Runners and other moves and stuff. But nevertheless, again, I won't speak without my lawyer.
Will Chisholm $2. Is it true about Jade neck being hurt?
Will Chisholm is referencing the PWN report, which is a report on top of Dave's report. So Jade Cargill was attacked on SmackDown. It looked like someone like fucking murdered her or something, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Jade, what?" And I'm thinking like, okay, I guess they don't trust her in WarGames. But then Dave says she's hurt for real and she's going to be out at least 3 months. And then PWN said it's a neck injury and she may be out for a whole year. I asked WWE, did Jade Cargill break her neck? And I didn't get a reply. And then I got a reply later, and the reply was, "Who reported that?" with 2 question marks. And then I just sent the link, and then it just said "seen," and I was like, okay. So take that however you want to take that.
Hush 199. Which wrestler has the craziest shooters? Roman question mark.
No.
Punk.
No, it's
they're
right
up there.
Punk, no, I would say just like Triple H, even like not as a wrestler, but like as a booker. Triple H, honestly, I've never received as many just like insane tweets calling me the most crazy things than when I made one joke about Triple H. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like yeah, I can make jokes about anyone else and then maybe I get like a few people being crazy, but like Triple H is like 400 comments of people being absolutely insane.
And here's an example. While you were gone, right? There was a UFC show that Triple H was at, right? And Donald Trump comes out for his fucking big Superman entrance that he has at every UFC show. And he shakes a bunch of people's hands. And among them, Hunter just kind of shakes his hand. And then he like continues to do whatever he's doing. And then like people are getting their jokes off and shit, right? And all I tweeted was, "Hey, man." That's all I tweeted. I went, "Hey, man." And people in replies like, "Go fuck yourself, you wokey. All right? You gonna cry? You gonna cry about it, woke? Huh? Stay woke. Go to Blue Sky." I was like, yo, I didn't say anything, bro. I didn't say shit. I didn't say anything. I just said, "Amen." But he has shooters. Peak elite Hangman shooters like 2 years ago were insane. WWE shooters are really bad in general. So those are a couple.
Berkey 199. When I catch Ibu at Yarlin over his NXT tapes.
I am not going to Dallas.
Yeah, I could have told you that, people. Yeah. No way Ibu going to.
You can speak to this. You know, it takes to the day off for me to go to something in my own fucking state. Like,
Arm Dragon $5. All I'm saying is, if Punk's gonna join the Bloodline, he better wear that OTC shirt. You want to be on the team, put on the jersey.
He's gonna refuse to do that. Like, come on.
Shit, bro.
Yeah, if you watch the CM Punk behind the scenes footage, he wouldn't even take the Triple H mark pick with the pointing unless he did the pointing himself. Like he literally goes, Hunter goes, "Hey, you want to break the internet and take a picture?" And he's like, Punk literally goes, "Oh, you're gonna point at me?" And then he says like, "I gotta point at you too, then." And then he takes the fucking mark pick, you know. So that's the real alpha male right there.
Mr. Defiant, $4.99. Got to meet Ibu after Full Gear, which was dope. Funniest part was seeing the bottle girls jump when the pyro went off. The private party.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I don't remember who this was, but if you were one of the people that didn't jump me, it was nice to meet you. You know. You know what I felt really rude about, unfortunately? When people are running up to me to say, "Hey, Ibu," like my natural inclination is to look, because everyone on Twitter is an Avi. You know what I mean? Like they're all like fucking wrestler profile. So I'm like, "Hey, who are you?" You know what I mean? It's like, "Hey, and you are," you know. So it felt rude, but it's just like I don't know who I'm like speaking to.
And Jean PN, $2. Drake suing Spotify like Punk complained about BTE.
No comment.
Razor $4.99. Anna is a queen. Yeah, that's a queen emoji. Yeah, Anna is a queen. CM doing big money numbers. Don't know so. What's Big Rome plus Paul E's thought on Phil's money power? Scoops on Phil. Don't know so again. Thoughts on Punk behind the scenes.
All right, I'll do my best, Razor. What are Rome and Paulie's thoughts on Phil? Well, look, CM Punk wants in on this bloodline business, and he knows that they're top guys. And he went through Paul Heyman to try to get this thing done. And Paul Heyman went to Master Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns clearly sees him as someone worth working with. So beyond that, I can't say too much. I don't want to say something that's incorrect. And then what was the other one? Scoops on Phil. I don't know what are the scoops you want. He's back, and he's excited to do this thing here. Thoughts on a Punk behind the scenes? Very, very uncomfortable. I don't know if you saw this, Anna. WWE posted the behind the scenes of his return last year, and it's so fucking awkward. Like
the Randy Orton part was just like
that was fine, but like he goes to Regal. He goes to Regal, and he's just kind of like, I don't know if you guys seen the Obama skit from Key and Peele. Like Punk is kind of like, "Hey, Triple H, hey, Stephanie McMahon, oh, Michael Hayes, hello, Mr. Regal." All right, okay. Anyway, and it's like, and then the funniest part, Monty, I don't know if you saw this part of the video. Regal bumps him, and he's like, "Sorry," and Punk's like, "It's all right." It's just so awkward, and they're just standing next to each other, and Punk is just looking forward, and every time Regal's next to him, he does that thing where he's trying to like look in a different direction. And someone in my reply said, "Bro, Regal, the show's over. What are you watching?" Because he's like pretending to like watch a TV. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I felt like I wasn't supposed to see any of that. It just felt like I was watching forbidden footage. But it was interesting.
MASP, $1.99. Charlotte gonna politic for Andrade to win gold.
Yes,
she's got the power, bro.
As she should.
Yes.
Razor $4.99. The next Paul E guy should be a heel. Paul E reunions with Rome and CM Punk. Equals megaphone babyface pops.
Loud babyface pops.
Don't know Sal. Seth heel turn coming. CM Punk out pop the GOAT Roman. I
love how now Razor's new thing is don't know Sal. Like, because before he'll be like, "What are Heyman's thoughts
also
on, like,
Razor, yeah. What's with the emojis, bro? Just like write the fucking thing.
No,
like, I don't get it.
No, Monty, it's because of the word limit. Like, there's a word limit on the super text.
Word limit?
Bro, the word limit's not that fucking.
No, I've tried to send LNG.
And also, Razor, you see what it is, yeah? If it don't fit in, you know what you gotta do?
Spend more money.
You gotta offer a couple more dollars in, you get me? Asking all these questions, getting scoops, you get me? Like, come on, bro.
Listen, he says these things like don't know Sal as if like I'm just allowed to just fucking drop trade secrets. But I don't know what's gonna happen with Seth Rollins. He's gonna be very mad that CM Punk is working with Roman Reigns, and he'll probably on TV say that this is why this guy's a hypocrite that stands for nothing. Beyond that, Paul Heyman, the next Paul Heyman guy is Braun Breaker. I've been saying this for like months, and people are like, "Oh, why hasn't it happened yet, Ibu? What happened to Braun Breaker? What's gonna fucking happen, asshole? It's gonna like I don't know what you want from me." So there you go.
Wheelchairs and $5. Ready for Stephanie Vickers and Buddy's interview?
I don't need that,
man.
Oh my god!
Come on, bro. Hodge $1.99. Either Jay White's son or Penta daughter.
Jay White's son.
Penta daughter.
No, Jay White's
Bob
son.
the Builder, $2 Canadian. That behind the scene Punk video was amazing.
It was terrifying.
Kale, 20 pesos. Why did I get singled out?
Because when
the
Raw spoilers drop, all I see on the timeline is Kale like, "Oh my What the fuck? I'm like, what happened, dude? He's like, oh, brother. I'm like, relax, man.
Bob the Builder, 2 those Canadians. Are you guys souring on Excalibur? He's got souring, bro.
I never thought he was good.
Souring. Bro, I swear down, like, with as much honesty.
You guys don't like Excalibur?
No.
Bro, from the first time I saw him on TV, I've not liked that guy, bro. Never, ever.
Monty, after Cole's awful match with Buddy Matthews, this guy Excalibur with the straight face goes, "Is this the best version of Cole we've ever seen?" I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
He has to. He's doing his job. He has to sell it.
Nah, it's not even that, bro. He's just not
How is this
good.
the first time I'm hearing about this?
And it's like Excalibur,
I've
get
never
behind
been a fan. Never once been a fan of Excalibur, bro.
I don't hate him like Monty does. I just don't
look at him, bro. Like, why are we doing? Like,
he does his job.
What are we doing?
I don't think he's good. But I'm also someone who doesn't think any American commentator is good except like Riccaboni and Caprice. But nevertheless,
you don't like Michael Cole?
No. he used to.
You want to use Cole? So it's too like. It's too nasty to like switch off on him now. You get me? You can't be like, oh yeah, Cole's great now. Like,
so here's the thing. Come on. In the Vince era, he was like, oh, disgusting. Now his new thing is like, I watch all wrestling, guys. So like, and clearly he doesn't. Clearly, like, you're scrolling Cage Match. So I remember when AJ came back from his match with Mato Fuji, he was just like, AJ Styles was over in Japan. He wrestled in Pro Wrestling Noah. And you can tell he's like patting himself on the shoulder. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, just shut up. The best version, Monty. I don't know if you remember this. At Backlash this year, Tama Tonga comes out, right? And it's very clear that he went to Cage Match, pressed Match Guide, and then pressed Rating, and then read the top 3 matches because he goes, Tama Tonga! That's Tama Tonga! He had big matches with Shingo and this guy and that guy, and he named the first 3 matches on the list. And I was like, he's using Cage Match, you fucking asshole. He was the
I can respect that.
90%
of the WWE audience don't even know what Cage Match is, so fuck it.
He clearly did he clearly saw Tama Tonga at the venue before the day, right? And he was like, what's up, man? You doing the opener? He's like, yeah, I'm showing up in the opener. And he was like, all right, bet. And he just fucking like looked at his fucking phone and was like, Tama Tonga, Cage Match. It was like Rating, okay, boop, 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 and just like read the fucking list. So
yeah, Cole's all right, but like I said, I can't do the full 180 and be like, oh, he's great now. Like, I can't do that, bro. It's too nasty. But he's pretty good. He's so much better than what he was, obviously. And
the live chat pointed out he read Shingo's name wrong. He was like, he wrestled Shinto. It's like, all right, bro, like shut the fuck up.
But then Excalibur, I've never think he's awful. JR, God bless him. You know what I mean? And I'll always love him, and I'll always cherish JR in my heart. But it's obvious, like he's way past it, bro. Even though it will still pop me to see him come out and commentate on a match for someone that I like Bobby Lashley, like he did a full year.
He's not good.
But yeah, exactly, he's not good, and I can admit that, But even though he's like my favorite,
you know what I will admit on air. So again, I watched WCW Mayhem '99 last night. Awful show. There's this character on the show who's very offensive. He's basically a guy pretending to be Jim Ross, and the character's name is Oklahoma on commentary, right? And I got to be honest, Oklahoma on commentary had me laughing because a guy does like a regular vertical suplex, and he's like, suplex, oh my God, suplex. And I'm just dying. I'm like, come on, man. And he's like, he ran a 440 in high school. He plays this football. And I'm like, come on, man. This is so mean. But
fraudulent. But yeah, anyway, Tony Schiavone, I don't think he's awful or anything. It's just that, I think he's just like a complete non-factor. He doesn't add anything to the show. He doesn't particularly take anything away, but he's just like, he's just kind of like there.
He's happy to be there,
Taz. I like Taz, but it's like sometimes it's just like he's just not as locked in as he was in yesteryear, And
these guys
he has a few quirks that can be kind of a bit whatever. Nigel's pretty good, to be fair. He can be a little self-indulgent sometimes, but he's quite good.
But he's funny. Like
exactly, like people
Yeah.
pop for him and stuff, so it's okay him being a little bit self-indulgent because it works at the moment, you know.
I feel like a lot of wrestling commentators now, this is gonna sound weird, I feel like they're all kind of like bored of their jobs, and now they kind of just try to pop themselves.
Bro, what the fuck happened to Kevin Kelly, man?
We know what happened to Kevin Kelly.
No, but I mean, as in, like, bro, he was so like revered for his New Japan work, you know, and everyone.
I
was
always
like,
thought it was
yeah,
overrated.
Yeah, no, same. I'm with you, to be honest with you, but it's just kind of like the way that his reputation has taken nosedive, you know, as an actual commentator, though, like all the outside of the ring and his beef with Ian Riccoboni and all that weird shit that he was on, yeah, like all that aside, bro, his actual work in AEW was not good, bro. It wasn't good.
Like he didn't know anyone's names, and he kept saying Andrade wrong. He was like Andrade, and it was like, what are you, Andre El Idolo? And I'm like, bro, it's Andrade, bro. You know, so I don't know. He's whatever.
Yeah, you know, I say Kevin Kelly is not good anymore. I like I said, Nigel. He's good. Love him or hate him. I'm sure some people don't like him. Whatever. Ian and Caprice, I like them as a pairing. Caprice, I'm not that big on when he's on other teams that I've heard him on, which obviously isn't that often. Ian's just good, to be fair, I think.
I will. There's a commentator I like that a lot of people don't like.
Booker T.
No, he's not good, but he's funny. He's not. Come on.
That's mine. I like Booker T, but he's not good. I'm not gonna put him forward for any end of year awards.
He gets a bit like weird sometimes for me, like too weird for my taste, especially like in the women's match. And like,
Lola Vice start dancing, and he'll be like, "Oh, you're like, what are you doing, dude?" Like he's a cartoon character. Mine is I like Mauro Ranallo. I think he's funny.
I can understand that.
I like him.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I miss him from like I really liked him at NXT, and like hearing him again in the Maple Leaf.
Oh
no, Maple Leaf.
I thought you watched Tyson Jake Paul fight.
Why would I do that to myself, Abel? Come on.
Yeah, the state of commentary, man. You know, so good. WWE, they ain't got anyone great over there. Like, I don't think Wade's good. Never thought Wade was good.
Wade's whatever.
People rate Vic Joseph on the next team, and I don't really rate him. Like, I don't think he's terrible or anything, but I don't get like, he needs to be on the main roster. This and
Vic
that.
Joseph's go-to.
I don't get it.
Vic Joseph's go-to call is literally, "Oh!"
Yeah, I don't think he's like great or anything. No, because I don't think he's terrible. Corey Graves is not good at all. Who else is on main roster? That's everyone, isn't it?
Testator, who's fine. You know, I like him, but like he's not refined yet. You know.
Oh yeah, Joe Test. Yeah, to be fair, Phil obviously his experience level in this game, he's doing a good job so far. So yeah, he's already better than like 80% of the people I just named. So.
I remember one time an indie promotion was like, "Would you be interested in commentating?" And I was like, "I'd be so bad at that. Don't ask me to do this, please. I'd be such a terrible commentator."
I'm popping huge. So when I watch the clips back and I see JBL on commentary, sometimes it does come out with a line that pops me. I can't lie, you know. So what's it, Pat McAfee? Pat McAfee's awful.
Yeah, he sucked.
No, Pat McAfee's awful. Tom Hannifan, I think he's very like just kind of goes through the motions almost.
Wade Barrett.
He's not terrible or anything.
Wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
Walker Stewart for New Japan is very good, especially considering he's like fucking 22 or however old he is. Like that's actually quite.
Very nice guy.
He's that young.
Bro,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Like 21
that's
or 22.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Daddy Magic, Daddy Magic's pretty decent, but he's still learning. You know.
I miss Regal in commentary.
Yeah, Regal's awesome. I liked him in Excalibur as a dynamic.
Yeah, wow.
The Masked Man.
Yeah, the mask.
I'm still so shocked you guys hate Excalibur that much. Like I understand not liking him, but like the hatred is insane.
Bro, Nate, I can't even. Bro, he's been the main commentator for AEW for 5 years, and he's got like no iconic calls, but not one. Like JR's got more than him.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I just remembered, and I remember when we were reviewing Wrestle Dream and Excalibur. He was like, Brian Danielson. He's just such
Oh my god.
a strong man. I can't believe.
Okay, I forgot about that.
I can't believe that John did this to Brian. I'm sorry, everyone. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck?
Okay, I forgot about that for a second. Now I get it. I get it.
Anyway, we're keeping it moving. Then we see that light at the end of the tunnel with these super chats now. Shout out Spurs $5. Not gonna lie, Britt Baker being an evil Russian karate teacher on Cobra Kai was kind of hilarious. She even put someone over. I've not seen it, bro. So.
I gotta see that one.
Jay Stone $5.
That sounds so funny.
Hey man,
that show, I swear to God.
Well, someone might have put it on Twitter or some shit. I don't know. Jay Stone $5. Hey now, Ibu, tell Mikal Bridges squabble up.
I don't want to talk about it.
Has KO re-signed or what?
Yeah, but WWE doesn't want you to know that because they're gonna do something.
So for $4.99, Loki thought Omega would be in the C2. Fightful reported it's believed he will wrestle for AEW first, then New Japan.
Possible?
It's possible.
It's possible. We'll see what they do. I think if you want Kenny in a C2, you're asking to like kill him. Why would you do that to him? You know,
he needs to take it slowly and go back straight into a tournament, though.
Yeah, going right into that is kind of insane. And putting that
fuck it, bro. Bro, till the wheels fall off, man.
Oh man, no.
The thing is with Kenny, bro. This is what I think. The thing is with Kenny coming back. When he's already done his big layoff to heal himself physically, you know what I'm saying? Like he saw joints and all that sort of stuff. And obviously he didn't come back 100% because when you've had the career Kenny's had, you never get to 100% again, you know. But this time he's been off. It's because of an illness. He's diverticulitis, and he's had surgery and stuff like that. It's not like he's going out there with like tender shoulders and he can't rotate his fucking arm and shit like that, and his knees are fucking hanging on by a thread. Like physically, he should be actually like pretty decent by the time he comes back. That's my opinion on it anyway. Because having David, it's not like he's blew his knee, is he? You know, he was out with something that was, you know.
It's just a lot of things to expect him to have like these great matches every week in a long tournament. But we'll see what the end of
it. A lot for anyone though, isn't it? You know. Obviously, at his age as well.
It's just a lot there with Kenny physically. You know what I mean? I'd rather just preserve him and use him for big spots.
Like, of course, I would love to see him wrestling every week and having great matches, but I also want to see him be alive and be able to like keep wrestling and not get injured or have something affect his health again, 100%. And then he has to be out for another year. You know?
Yeah, exactly. We just got out of the woods.
I just want him to.
Kenny's definitely in a position now as well where he'll go at the pace he wants to go at. So I don't think you have to really worry about that, to be honest. Will Chisholm $5. Social media was acting real weird about the Bobby Media scrum. Yeah, because whenever anything race related gets brought up in fucking wrestling, people start being weird and hashtag takes come out, and you know, I just can't.
I didn't see that as well. It's actually crazy being like off Twitter, you know, because like all the drama. Sometimes like I would just open the app and I would just see people like having discourse about something, and I would be just like, this, I do not care about this, like, and then immediately leave. You know,
it's pretty refreshing actually, and I'm like happy for you and proud of you. You know, you missed out on like everything. Graham 999. I'll read this one. What's the with the W over stat? Sorry, strat? Huh? I think he means stat. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think Mercedes? Who do you think Mercedes feuds with next? Since Mariah and Mina will have their story continue. Hater or Camille? Welcome back, Anna.
Thank you. I would love to see a hater match.
Hater's going into the Julia thing, though, isn't she?
Yeah, she's gonna feud with Julia Hart. It looks like because every time the hater wants to talk, like the lights go out and shit, and then it just cuts to Julia Hart like waking up in a bed or something, and it's like, find your inner nature, and like something possesses her and stuff. So they're doing something there.
Like who in the roster now could be for Mercedes?
I think
maybe if Riho comes back or something.
My prediction is she's gonna do something CMLL / New Japan adjacent for the next month and a half.
Oh, thank God.
That's what I think.
I would love to, because they're gonna be like building up for Wrestle Dream and stuff, no? Wrestle Dream, the Wrestle Dynasty.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have the 4-way match for the women, but I would like Mercedes to have a singles match as well. especially because she's the New Japan Strong champion. So it would be nice if she would have like matches. I'm not gonna say weekly because I don't think that's realistic, but like different Stardom talents come on, you know. Because honestly, thinking about the roster now, I don't see anyone who I would say like, oh yeah, this person for sure with Mercedes now.
Yeah, we'll see how it all lines up.
The Hazuki match is coming up as well. That's gonna be beast. So you have a beef with
it. Mid takes 499. Appreciate you. Has anyone seen the Nagata versus Sasaki at Wrestling World 2004? Godly grab. I think there's a chance Jack Perry never gets over again because of Scape.
Mid takes is referring to Sasaki and Nagata's Tokyo Dome match from 2004. Yeah, New Japan was in a really bad state at that time, but those two guys, Matsu, just like beat the shit out of each other, and it's like really bloody, and one of the rare like bloody 2000s New Japan matches, and yeah, like it's fucking tremendous. So big fan of that match.
Shot on Spurs, $5. JR is like Martin Tyler. 90% of the time they can't bring it like they used to, but every once in a while the magic shines through. Yeah, I agree with that. Anthony Medina, 199. Stone Cold 96 Survivor Series promo from the Vault.
Did you see this, Marcy?
Check that. Nah, I haven't, you know.
So WWE Vault, they uploaded like it's just a bunch of like outtakes and things of like from Survivor Series. So basically, it's a lot of like behind the scenes like recording a promo stuff from like different Survivor Series over the years. And in '96, there's the famous one where like Austin cuts that cool promo in the warehouse and it's black and white, and he's just kind of like, "I ain't no sexy boy, Brett. I'll take you." And he's like, "Hitman." Put an S in front of Hitman, and that's what I think of the Hitman, like that famous promo. And in this Vault video, you just see like him just walking around cutting the promo, like the raw footage without the editing and the filters and stuff. It's just this, without the music and like the filters. It's so funny. He's just Stone Cold walking around in a circle, like talking out. You hear the echo, and he's just like, "So, Brett, you want to take on Steve Austin?" It's just funny to watch it.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I love all those Steve promos, man. Bob the Builder, $5. Quote, I wrestled this man in Germany 15 years ago, but this is not that man. LMAO, Excalibur. Excalibur, it's just bro, a lot of shitter quotes. There's more shitter quotes that he's got than iconic calls, you know. Legend Rider, $2. Is Cody not on some Survivor Series at all? Bit surprising.
No, he's not. His Kevin Owens match will be at Saturday night's main event.
All right, Abel, we're through the super chats, ready to
yeah. All right, we're gonna go big. We're gonna go big picture here. So let's go right into Mercedes versus Camille, because this is a Camille. Oh my god,
Camille.
That would have been a much different match. Mercedes versus Statlander. So look, man, we went into this pay-per-view and this build was very, very iffy, and it was looking like do or die, put up or shut up time for Mercedes Mone, and she badly needed a great performance here. And this match started, and I was in Newark, New Jersey. And it kind of felt like the fans, like, there's this almost expectation. Like, I don't know, like AEW women's pay-per-view matches, they're always like match number 2, 3, or 4 on the show. And they're usually about 12 minutes. And generally they're like fine to like pretty good. And it felt like the vibe in the audience was, we're not going to be up for this immediately, but you have to impress us. And if you do, we'll get into it. And so these ladies start wrestling. And when Mercedes does that Rana off the apron to get Statlander off the apron to the floor, everyone's like, oh, and you could tell in the arena, like there was like, almost like, all right, they're gonna like really go for it here. And then you get all the meteoras, and then finally that spot pays off where Statlander turns one of them into a powerbomb, I believe, and they're going for it. And I'm like, it starts to come together, and I'm like, this is a good wrestling match. And then what starts to happen is you're getting a lot of kickouts. And it was the kind of kickouts where you're realizing like, oh, like they're going for it. This is going to be like an epic match. And once the realization sets in with the crowd that they're going for an epic, they start to give it the respect that an epic requires. And so a lot of big kickouts, a lot of big near falls, and the drama increases after all of them. The shock from the fans that Statlander isn't like getting taken out by them starts to increase. And what starts to set in the building was, is Statlander going to win this match? And I say out loud, I'm like, Statlander's winning this, I think. And like people are all muttering the same thing. Like, I think Chris is winning this. And when that happens, like there's like almost this buzz in the arena, like, oh my gosh, Statlander's going to beat Mercedes. And they get really into the last couple minutes of this thing, and it really starts to shine through. And what really starts to hit me is like, Mercedes, more than everything, like, yeah, she's a great worker, like in her peak, and you know, like her best match is like the work and the sequencing is great. but like she has a great handle for just being a big room performer and like the drama of it all, right? Like the drama of wrestling. And that happens here, and you see her kind of main event poise start to kick in as that happens, and the fans are really with it. And we get some bang statements. We get she does her Mone Maker finisher, which I'll give you guys a bit of an insider. Mercedes whispered to apparently she whispered to Chris Statlander to kick out of what was supposed to be the finish of the match. So she made the call inaudible to like make it go longer, essentially. One of those kind of wrestler instinct things where you just like in the moment you're like, nah, this is not the finish of the match. You know what I mean? But the actual finish is kind of like weird. Like she does this, like she kind of like shoots she like does like a drop toe hold, I think it was, to Statlander, and Statlander kind of gets on the ropes like in 619 position. The match ends shortly after, and what I would say about it was this was great. This was absolutely, in my opinion, the best Mercedes individual performance in AEW, and it was the match that she desperately needed to have in AEW, and so I'm glad it happened. And I'm going to pass it to you, Anna. What did you think of this match?
It was so good. I think it's one of my favorite AEW women's matches ever. Generally, like I feel you 100% because when I went into the match, I was just like praying and hoping, like, please, Mercedes, let's have a good match. You know, she's still my GOAT. I still think she's one of the best North American women's wrestlers of all time, like top 3, you know. But she needed a good performance, let's be honest, like especially after the Wembley match, the DMD match, and then Sheeta wasn't up to the expectations that people had as well. So I was really excited when she went into the story with Chris. I didn't watch the whole build-up of the story because it was the period that I was taking off. So I didn't, I wasn't influenced by that as well. But man, it's Chris Statlander. Like, I genuinely believe that she's one of the best wrestlers in the company, independent of gender, like of anything. She's so good. She took a good match out of Britt Baker, and I feel like that says like a lot of her talent. She could wrestle a door and have like a 3.5 at this point. And Chris, for me, like everyone knows she's good, but I still feel like she's underrated in so many ways. Like they know she's good, but they don't realize like she's definitely one of the best in the whole company. So I was already excited for this match, but there was the fear, because Mercedes had good opponents before as well during this run, and the matches hadn't really gone up to that expectation. So in the beginning, I was like, yeah, there's no way Chris is going to win. But halfway through, I was like, oh my gosh, she's winning. She's doing it. And I feel like that's the real, like, the thing that Mercedes does very well. And even the matches that the performance wasn't the best, she still always was able to, like, give that feeling and showcase her opponent and make her opponent really shine, And I think it's a good Mercedes match when she starts throwing the temper tantrums and she starts screaming in the middle of the match. Like, that's when she's locked in and she's like fully into the performance as well.
When I noticed it, Anna, when like her hair started getting all janky and fucked up, I was like, oh, she's cooking right now. Because, a great Sasha Banks match, the hair is looking crazy. But I was like, oh, let's get it. You know what I mean?
Like the screams, it was very much, like the run that she had during the pandemic as a heel with Bailey. Yeah. Like she would do that in almost every match. So it just really reminded me of that. Like the temper tantrums on the floor, like all of that. I think they worked out so well together. The chemistry was amazing. The big moves were hitting. Everything was just clicking. And the fact that it's now the longest women's match in AEW's history, and it's still under 20 minutes, it's crazy. But they deserve that spot. I was so happy that they got the time. And yeah, it was just amazing. I'm really, really happy with it. Now Mercedes' next match is Hazuki, which is also, a phenomenal wrestler. So I do hope that she keeps going. And maybe this was the match that she needed also to gain back her confidence, to like remind herself who she is and what she can do in the ring. And so now, even though Chris lost, I do definitely want to see more of her. I definitely want her to get like more of a push, maybe be, face Mariah after the Mina thing. Like she deserves that spot. I think she proved that 100%. And I hope for Mercedes that she can keep having those great matches.
I mentioned this on social media a week ago. People, whether they realize this or not, Mercedes is her own harshest critic. So whatever anybody may have thought about some of her matches on pay-per-view that weren't very good, I can guarantee you she thought it was like 10 times worse. Like she's really hard on herself when it comes to like her match quality. Like she has different maybe views and taste on like the actual TV angles. When it comes to matches, like any match that you thought was mid, she probably thought was like terrible. And she, along with Jennifer Pepperman, handpicked Camille. I keep saying Camille, Chris Statlander as the opponent. here.
That's so disrespectful to Chris. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm just glad this match was really, really good. Monty, were you moved by this one?
Oh, I was very much moved, you know. I was very moved by this because, as you already laid out, Mercedes needed a big performance here. You know, even more so than just having a good match. You know, like it needed to kind of, she needed to kind of like plant a flag. You know, and that's not to say that she's had no good performances in AEW thus far. Like she's had like a small handful. You know, like the Willow match or something. You know, but yeah, this delivered kind of as much as you'd hope it would. You know, they had really good chemistry. Mercedes always works pretty well with like big, powerful bases and stuff like that. People that she can just like do all the stuff with, you know. And they got really creative and innovative with it as well. Like all the different things they were coming up with, cool counters, etc., etc. And again, as you guys already kind of laid out, the crowd kind of built themselves into it. Like they were really invested by the time they were doing like the the closing stretch and all that stuff. And yeah, just it's what you would hope it would be if you're a Mercedes fan that wanted her to finally kind of like, really announce herself in AEW, and it's taken too long, and I don't even think that's all on her either. I think like her booking and stuff has been a bit weird. Even like the title, like she's TBS champion, that's weird. I don't think anyone would have booked that going into I don't know, Mercedes running AEW. And as I was saying kind of like last week, if you're going to sign someone like Mercedes, it's because you want to, so you want someone who you can like spearhead and elevate your division with, and that's what Mercedes should be doing in AEW. And his performances like she had at Full Gear, where she'll be able to do that, because she's not going to be able to do what she's been doing the past 6 months, bro. It needs to be stuff like we've seen at Full Gear. That's how you get the best out of Mercedes, booking her in the ideal matchups where she can have these potentially classic matches with. And that's how you elevate the division. Because Chris Statlander, she lost the match, but even though she's great and the AEW audience already know she's great, she still comes out of that match looking better than what she did going into it. So it's like it's just good all round. It ticked every box. That's our wrestler of the week, Mercedes Moné, our CEO, and hopefully, like Anna said, she could build some good momentum now.
Is that breaking news that Mercedes is the wrestler of the week for WrestlePurists?
No. I think Jamie tweeted it before we went live.
Oh, God damn it, Jamie! You gotta be theatrical about it, it would have been sick of like right there. You'd be like, and that's why Mercedes won. You know what I mean?
Just drop the graphic.
But yeah, I hope that this match for Mercedes is the equivalent of like when Toni Storm. Remember when Toni Storm wrestled Azumi on Collision, and like from then on she finally started having good matches, because like Toni Storm's matches like for like the last few months prior to that were fucking terrible. And then
they were so bad.
They were so bad. Yeah. And people were fucking lying to themselves about them too. Like, oh, that was okay. No, it wasn't, bro. But
awful.
They were not good. But she faced Azumi on Collision, and it was like, oh, that was good. And then from then on, she just kind of got back on track. And I hope, similarly, to a much bigger extent, because we need it to be a much bigger extent, I hope that this Chris Statlander match with Mercedes just kind of is just what she needs to kind of turn this around, because we need it as fans. AEW needs it. And I'll reveal something funny, Anna. There were so many Mercedes fans that I know that were DMing me before the thing, going basically like, yo, Ibu, is this match going to be good? Because I think it's over for me if this match sucks. And I'm like, I think it's good. And they're like, Ibu, I can't breathe. And I'm like, I think it'll be good. So a couple of them, it was 3. So I'm glad she had a great match. I'm also glad that Ospreay had a great match. It's kind of what he does, He kind of just goes out there and has it's what's up.
I was just gonna say like one more thing about Mercedes, that I think it's perfect that her next opponent is Suzuki, because it's someone that she wrestled before, so she has already like that chemistry, which she already knows how it works in the ring. But last time she wrestled, it was a triple threat. So, but it's someone that you can trust to have very good and solid matches. I would say like she's like the Chris Statlander of Stardom or something, or like the other way around. So I do feel like this is a great sequence for Mercedes to really get back on track. It's like 2 people that you can trust for her to have great matches. But yeah, Ospreay, what to say about Ospreay? 5 stars as always.
Yeah. So he did that thing where he wrestles in the middle of a pay-per-view and it's the best match on the show. Or I guess you could debate it, but like he just has an amazing match in the middle of the show, and he did it again where he walked out there. He faced Kyle Fletcher, And they've been really trying to elevate Kyle Fletcher throughout this entire build. And he turns on Ospreay in a really theatrical way at Wrestle Dream, and he shaves his head on TV, and he demands to not be seen as, Will's little brother anymore. Basically, he wants to distinguish himself. He's with Don Callis, so on and so forth. He gave Will the Tiger Driver. Will Ospreay made the recovery in time to get this rematch. They built it up in a promo where there was a lot of bruvs and oys, but we're now here, and it's Ospreay and Fletcher. Fletcher's wearing the white gear. And they have a very back and forth match that I would describe, Monty. Tell me if you agree with this. It's a match that delivers on the promise of an exciting Will Ospreay match, while also adhering to the tone of the storyline with its physicality. So you get this really exciting, bombastic, back and forth, explosive match, but it does still feel like a grudge battle and like a fight in the wrestling sense, right? But by the end of it kind of turns into this thing where Will Ospreay has been selling the neck and the arm because he took some nasty bumps in this match, including a fucking tombstone pile driver onto steel steps. And so he's losing strength in his arm, and it's affecting him, and it's affecting the power that he could put behind his moves. That's why he does a front-facing hidden blade, and Kyle doesn't even sell it. And he just eats that shit. And everyone in my section, we were like, no, and he's withering away, and his health bar is low. And Kyle is just taking him out, dissecting him. And this match ends emphatically when we get a turnbuckle brainbuster, which was just fucking gross. And Kyle Fletcher beat Will Ospreay. And no Monty, no Anna, no audience. It didn't take Don Callis or any screwdriver bullshit. He just beat him. No screwdrivers, no run-ins from anyone in the Callis family. He just defeated Will Ospreay, and he, at least for now, appears to be the better man. Monty, what did you make of this? I thought it was very strong, very effective. I didn't know how to feel about the idea of Ospreay losing going into the show, but seeing how it came off and the performance Fletcher had, and like the fact that it was clean, made me kind of respect the boldness of it. And I was like, you know what, man, fucking go for it. So what did you think of this one?
The main thing was it was effective. It was effective, and to talk to your finish, as you just really emphasized, it didn't need no Don Callis screwdriver, no bullshit. He just beat Will Ospreay, because if you are going to have him beat Will Ospreay on pay-per-view, do it properly. Have it mean something, and obviously booking coming out of it we'll see how they kind of handle that. Obviously he's in the C2, so he's going to need to have a strong run, as I think you said earlier, Bill. But as the match itself, it was a good match, man. It delivered in terms of the just an exciting, extravagant Will Ospreay match, and of course it's one of those things. If you love Will Ospreay, you love this match, and it's one of those. If you hated Will Ospreay, you're never gonna like it when he wrestles somebody who is, I'm not gonna say equally as athletic, but also super athletic and can work at the pace that Ospreay wants to work at and all that. Like, you're not gonna like this, So I guess outside of that, though, some of the kickouts were a bit absurd, but they were going for kind of this big epic devastation job on the Will Ospreay. So I can kind of understand it, even though I kind of, I'd call it kind of. I wouldn't even go that far, bro. I wouldn't even go that far, and you know me, bro. I'll roll my eyes at a lot of shit. But this was effective and it worked, and the ending especially was super emphatic.
Yes.
But yeah, this was really good, really effective, and it was successful in what it wanted to achieve, whether you're into these guys or not, But yeah, I really like Fletcher as a heel, he's in ring stuff. It's really coming along. I don't think he's perfect. I don't think he's perfect, and I think his push is kind of good with the people he's wrestling. He's only going to get better with. Him being in the Continental class, he's only going to get better. But you can see the wrestler I think he can develop into, now. And he's coming along, man. He's coming along. I know, a lot of our friends will be he's already there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not quite there yet, but he's definitely coming along, and he's coming along really well. So he's currently rewarding AEW's investment at the moment, because they have invested a lot into him. So,
and I have to point this out. Not only is he coming along, he's coming along pretty fucking fast, considering let's think of some of these other so-called projects in AEW that have been roughly where they've been at for a while now.
Oh, look at Scapegoat.
I was gonna get to that. You stepped on my spot. I was gonna do a 450 in that one after Anna gave her thoughts. We'll kayfabe that and pretend it didn't happen. And I'm gonna ask you the most obvious question. Yeah, right.
Yes.
And I'm gonna ask you the most obvious question in the history of the universe. Anna, did you like this Will Ospreay match?
Wow, I wonder what my answer would be. I fucking loved it. It was my match of the night, personally. I mean, up there with Mercedes and Chris for sure, but it was so good. I cannot wrap my head around the fact that people don't like Will Ospreay matches. You know what I mean? I understand everyone has like a different style of wrestling they like, but like, how can you watch this and just don't think like this is so beast? This goes so crazy, you know? There should got me like walking around my room, like pacing and shit. Like, it's so beast. And Kyle Fletcher, like, I've been, a fan of Kyle in Aussie Open since I think the first match I've ever seen of them, like 2021, 2022 or something.
Yeah, you were very good about Aussie Open a year and a half.
Yeah, because it was like I think it was against like the Velocities or something. It was in this fucking like garage. It seemed like in Australia, and then, it was like so random. You could hear the ring. It was like it was made of, how do you call that? Like coppers? Like, I don't know, like, a can. And every time they fell into the ring, it was like a loud, like, boom, like a cheap ring. Yeah, just like a cheap ring, And like, that was the first time I've ever seen them wrestling, like Kyle and Davis. And two, I would never, even if you had asked me back then, like if I would have guessed that Kyle would be in the point that he is now, like I wouldn't have guessed that, because I didn't really see him as a singles wrestler, So when they first started pushing him for that, I was like, okay, he's a good wrestler, but I don't know how far that's gonna go. So I was really, really impressed, and I realized that it was the first time it actually hit me, like in this match, how massive he is. Like, he's fucking huge now. Like, he put on some, like, there's some crazy juice going on there, because like he's really, really massive. But I think it's working very well. Like the Don Callis thing, love him or hate him, he does know how to put people in that position, I think the match was everything that it needed to be. Ospreay sold his ass off, like for Kyle. Like the selling that he was doing was just insane. You think like every move looked like he was killing him. So I think it was phenomenal, and the fact that it ended clean as well, it was just great. It did everything that it needed to do, and it was just an amazing match. I think it's my favorite Kyle singles match ever, and just another pay-per-view for Ospreay, normal.
Absolutely. And the only nasty thing about this Kyle project being successful is that people are going to give Don Callis credit, which is gross, but I guess
Don Callis, even when we is all sick of him, it's like Don Callis, I think, he's always like knew how to like cut promos, knows how to be a good manager and stuff like that. I just think with the Kenny stuff, when that got a bit absurd, is like because he was so central to the heat of it, he like loved it and went too much with it, and it was like the Don Callis family was straight up just like about Don Callis, Whereas now the talent's very much clearly at the forefront of it, and it makes a big difference, man. Because Don does know what he's doing, So
Kyle has been more focused, much more focused as an idea and act and elevation project than Don and Takeshita was last year, for example, where like that was supposed to be that it very much was not for months. So yeah, man, listen, man, Kyle Fletcher is a mid-20s AEW wrestler that is doing the most with his push and getting the most out of it and looking great and having excellent excellent pay-per-view matches. And he's coming off the performance of his career, and he looked like someone last night that could be a guy who can fight top guys in main events coming soon. Another,
I just don't like the bald head.
You like the hair better when you look like MGK or whatever?
Yeah.
We could work on that one. But yeah, man, Kyle Fletcher, a bright young prospect in AEW. Another young heel wrestler in AEW who isn't doing quite as well is the scapegoat Jack Perry. His match was after this one. He faced Daniel Garcia, and it was his TNT Championship defense. And yeah, it happened. And the crowd didn't care that much. And Daniel won the TNT Championship. And Jack Perry is no longer the TNT champion. And I thought the match was like nothing. Like it was like it just existed. I think Jack Perry, outside of the Danielson match, which was good to very good, not great, I think as this character, he has had the most like successive like 2 and 3/4 star matches out of any like pushed AEW male wrestler. Like, think about it, like just over and over and over, just an onslaught of just 2 and 3/4. This was no different. I'm really, really happy for Daniel Garcia, who deserves this championship. And now the work starts. It doesn't stop here. It starts here, the work, that is. And I hope he does great things with this championship, which at this point is so devalued that it feels like a TV title. But Jack Perry, as a project, as a scapegoat project, I think it's safe to say that it's been an absolute failure. And I'm very baffled by just his in-ring approach that he's taken throughout this. Over and over again in this match, he did that like weird like Raven pose that he does, and it's just like, dude, fuck off, man, you know. But nothing crazy about this match. Wasn't terrible, wasn't notably good. It was just kind of there, and all I could think about was like, man, how did we get to this point with Jack? What did you think of this one, Anna? Am I too harsh on this or what?
No, like I just missed him doing the flips and stuff, you know, like it was just that I feel like this match for me was the one that it made it the most obvious how much the style just doesn't fit him. Like he's just trying too much. And the thing is, like in the beginning of the scapegoat thing, when they did like the whole thing with Tony Khan in the ring, like I was really excited for it. I think like, okay, this can be something, you know, this can be something interesting. But he just couldn't adapt to the wrestling style, and it just everything just fell flat. It really reminds me of like the Saya Kamitani thing. Like now she's trying to wrestle like a heel, and it just feels boring because when you get those wrestlers who are very exciting in the ring and their moveset is just to be very active and kind of like lucha, like a bit of lucha style like influence in there, and you try to turn them heels, and then in their minds like to be a heel you can't have that style. I don't understand like why they think that, because you can, but then they don't know how to work in that way. You know what I mean? So like I'm really happy for Garcia. Like I'm so happy. Like there's been very few times I think since I became a fan of wrestling that I've been as happy for someone as I was when I saw Garcia winning that title. But I just wish the match had been better. Like he did his best. You know, he was definitely the best part of the match. But it's just the way that Jack Perry was working wasn't great. I know for a fact that this title reign will be better than the previous one. So I really hope, I know Garcia's gonna cook, and I hope that they book him well, because after everything he's been through with that company, like he deserves like a good long title reign. But yeah, Jack Perry just didn't hit for me. Now the Bucks are gone, and I think when they come back they're gonna be face. So Kata's like there just vibing, doing his thing. So I would say like let's reset, let's think about something else, and let's get the flips back on, you know.
To me, it's just like the Bucks are the blueprint in terms of like being flashy and flamboyant while also being assholes about it. Like we've seen them throughout their careers do that, where they've been heels while still just being like engaging in that way. There's ways to be an engaging heel in the ring without just turning into like a slow lore man. Jack Perry, and this is a guy who, Monty, like you could attest to this. When he was a babyface, I had issues with Jungle Boy. One of the things that was never an issue for him was pay-per-view performances. He used to be like Shawn Michaels out there on pay-per-views, and now he's like one of those guys who, like, if he's on the show, like his match is gonna be one of the weaker ones. Did you care for this, Monty? I'm gonna ask him that before. That's one of the other obvious questions on this podcast. But did you care for this Jack Perry match, Monty?
I kind of just felt bad for Garcia, you know, because obviously it's like a huge moment for him in his career to like win his first singles title, and it's like about damn time, you know. This Garcia, this Jack Perry heel run. In any heel run that he has, they've just all been terrible, bro. Like they're not good in ring or anything. Sometimes like he's not like an awful wrestler in the sense that he doesn't know how to do shit and he's stumbling, tripping up all over the place or anything like that. But it's just like that. I think that makes it even more frustrating that he takes his fucking shitty approach that seems so safe as well, you know. And it's like safe in such like a boring way, in just a way that's like, how are people meant to actually invest in this? This isn't the fucking 80s where the crowd will just fucking invest in any babyface, you know. Like, just not good, bro. The Scapegoat project, as you said, complete utter failure. This guy, I hope Garcia, as Garcia said at the media scrum, he wants to have like a proper like wrestler's title reign, you know, defending the belt a lot. Not carrying it as a prop and blah 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 and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully Garcia can have one of those reigns because AEW are kind of weird with these reigns. Like the people you'd expect to have work rate reigns sometimes don't. Like
Roddy.
But yeah, Joe mentioned Roddy earlier on the timeline, bro. It's like him holding the international title is like the most simple, basic booking ever, and it would still be great. You know, you just book him in fucking. You just book. Roddy's the sort of wrestler you can just book and just be like, yeah, just go wrestle him. You know, and just go and have a work rate reign. And they didn't do it. He had like a weird reign, didn't they? So. I'm hoping Garcia can make like the TNT title like a proper like work rate title, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see what way he goes with it. But Jack Perry needs to go back to the drawing board. I'd probably just turn him face again, to be honest. I don't know how you'd navigate doing that logically, but at this point, I don't even fucking care, bro. If he showed up next month as Jungle Boy again, I'd be happy.
That'd be really weird.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy to go along with it.
Because like I have I was gonna say like I have like a kind of like weird opinion because my main problem with Scapegoat is the ring work, you know. I just don't think it works for him. But the character itself, like the whole Scapegoat, I like the truck. I genuinely think that he does the part that's out of the ring well. Yeah, the truck. Like the part that's out of the ring well. Like, come on, I like it. Like when he was building the thing with Garcia, like, come on, it's nice.
I don't know why that's what you got me like that. So yeah, I like the Scapegoat. I like the truck.
If we
who else has the truck, Monty? But it was like when he was building the thing with Garcia, that he was like, yeah, they used to dance for me too, you know. Like it really it showed that there's more. Yeah, there's more to explore there, but he just needs to go back to the way he was wrestling before. Like that's all. That's my only criticism. Because if he was wrestling the way that he used to wrestle as Jungle Boy, but with this character, I think it could have been like a success, but it didn't match. Because with Jungle Boy, he didn't have personality, but he had good matches. Now he has like personality, but he doesn't have good matches. So
I think it's very much like it's not why you need like some sort of I don't know, like some sort of development system. Like, I'm not talking full on developmental, but it's like look at Roxanne Ibu, yeah. She's a baby face, and it's like she's got like personality quirks and stuff where it's like she's not really a great promo. She could be with a bit more confidence and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, well, flip a heel while she's in NXT so she can pick up these skills, you know? And she has been throughout the course of this year. And it's like Jack Perry, similarly, it's like, okay, he was a good babyface in ring and stuff. People liked him and shit, but he didn't really have personality. He wasn't a good promo or anything like that. He'd even spoken about like how nervous and how much he hates cutting promos, you know. So you flip him heel, and it's like, okay, he's a bit more confident, and he seems like he's got a bit more direction with the way he talks and stuff now. But it's like, you know, the big picture, he shouldn't be a heel. It's like, okay, so it's okay to do like the turn, and it helps him polish a few skills that you think he needs to brush up on. But it's like, long term, that kid should not be a heel, man. Like, he doesn't look at him, bro. You know what I mean? I'm meant to buy him like fucking working a heat segment. I can't buy into it, bro. It's just not convincing at all. Like, it's just, I think it's brutal. I really think it's brutal.
While Monty was on Jack Perry rant number 3, my doorbell rang, and it was just some guy like with a big box, and I had to sign off, and I was like, am I getting arrested here? And it was a letter from the government, and I was like, oh no. So
black vans, guys in tuxes pulling up on you. It's crazy.
I'll find out after this. I'm not gonna open this on air because if it's bad news, you're gonna hear it in my voice. So we'll find out off air. Can you imagine? I'm just like, until the next segment. Oh my god! But yeah, we'll deal with that later. Here's what I want to touch on. I'll ask you guys a yes or no question. So I'll give the audience a recap, and I'll just ask you guys both simple questions. So Mariah May had her celebration, and she finally got to drink champagne with Mina Shirakawa. They got on the stage. They shook their. They sent them GC. But yeah. So Mina and Mariah, they got on stage. They shook their breasts. They drank champagne. One of the things you've been missing on TV every weekend and now is like that's like their thing now. They just kind of like shake their titties and stuff, and like it's just their thing. But they drank champagne. And at that moment, Mina looked like she was sensing a turn happening on her by Mariah. So she tried to beat her to the punch. And it was like, what? And she threw like a swinging kick. And at that point, it was like, wait, what's happening here? And then Mina spears her off the stage. She has blood in her mouth. and it looks like officially Mina is like against Mariah, and I suppose she's the babyface. But the story they appear to be telling here is I got you before you got me, was kind of the storyline. Did this work for you, Anna? Yes or no?
Like no. Like the thing is, like you guys know, I was trying to defend like Mariah's title reign. Let's give it a chance, but like I'm not really feeling it. For me, what it feels like Mercedes is the world champion and Mariah has the midcard title.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think the eventual Mina and Mariah match is gonna be good, and I hope the storyline, like when they develop it more, is gonna be. I think it's gonna be better because Mariah showed that she's good with storylines about backstabbing friends, but I hope that it's not just the same exact thing as it was with Tony. But yeah, I just I would have rather seen a match from Mariah in this pay-per-view than this. In fact, like the fact there was only one women's match in the main card, and then this is just kind of
yeah, it happened, and I was kind of just like, I didn't know what to make of it in real time. I was kind of like, okay, because I thought Tony Storm was coming out, and so when it was this instead, I was like, did I miss like a story beat or something? But yeah, I didn't really know what to make of this one. Charlie had a lot of passionate opinions on this one. Monty, did this work for you?
No. This was bad, bro. This was bad. This was weird. I've said it from when Tony was involved in it, from when they were doing like when Tony Mariah was super praised as a feud. Like, I can't deal with all the goon bait, bro. It's so cringe to me. Like
the goon bait.
Bro, that's what it is. That's what every time fucking Mina Shirakawa's on the screen, AEW's like, let's do goon bait. Like, it's just it's crazy to me. Like, I get it. Okay, Mina, yeah, she's a what do you call it? She's a seductive character. Like, I'm very well aware of who Mina Shirakawa is and how she likes to do things, But that doesn't mean AEW should just like fucking bend over and go full 10-10 goon bait with it, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, think of something else. Do something else, That's what I feel like saying whenever Mina or Mariah or any of these people are on the screen. Let's just fuck you. I don't care what plans they've got at this point, man. Let's get the belt off Mariah, bro. Let's actually like we need the division moving forward. I'm tired.
my problem with her is like it just feels like her stuff is on like an island that isn't really involving the division. It feels kind of like parts of Roman Reigns' reign, which is why I decided I'm calling this now the lesbian bloodline. That's what this is. This is lesbian, and it's all about like the plot twists and the turns and the thing that they do. Roman's thing is acknowledge me. Their thing is titty shaking. This is lesbian bloodline, and there's aspects of it that work and aspects of it that I enjoy, but it also feels a bit circular, and I'm just ready.
Very disrespectful to the bloodline, to be honest. But
is it?
That's crazy.
There's a lot of one-to-one comparisons there, but nevertheless, before we get to
they're this close to doing the Cosmic Rules match in AEW. Like, I swear to God.
Oh my God!
And if you guys remember that, when they did the pay-per-view. Yeah, like a couple of years ago when it started, they were like, oh, let's do a pay-per-view that's silly. Let's do a silly one for some reason. And then all the matches had like weird stipulations. And there was the Cosmic Rules match, which was basically like a bikini match. Then they would just like throw like wet stuff at each other. And of course, that was like 100% Mina's idea. It was the Cosmic Angels, her group, of course, doing that. It was just like them throwing like foam at each other, wearing bikinis and stuff. Like, why? Like fucking 15 minutes of that. So I feel like Tony watched that and he was like, that was awful. Like that, watching that live that almost made me give up on Stardom. Like, come on.
RJ said he's an interesting person. But before we get to some of the later stuff on this show, this is what I'll do. And this is kind of mean to these matches, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it to you first, Anna.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to say about the following matches? The Fatal 4-Way Tag to open the show.
Bad.
MJF. That's why you rule. MJF versus Roderick Strong.
Okay.
And Hangman Page versus Jay White. This is now your opportunity.
Great chemistry.
To say this is your opportunity to say what you have to say. Unless you already just did right there.
I feel like having to watch the Acclaimed, it's always, an awful experience. But I do like that now they're seeming to follow through, like with a breakup and freeing my man Anthony Bowens, which is what I've been asking and working for a long time. But having to see a maskcaster, it always feels like a terrorist act from Tony Khan to me. It feels very personal, very offensive. Roddy and MJF was good. Now I can say I'm not as confident anymore on the eventual Adam Cole match. I feel like I might have been too positive on that one, but I still trust. Yeah, I still trust MJF to like sell his ass off and make the match okay. But I think you went from like a 4 to like a 3, like possibilities. But yeah, I love Roddy. He's still like one of the best in the world for me and very underrated. That end of Heartache was just
so much.
It's gonna be very fun. It's gonna be very.
That's gonna be. I just hope they get through that and like move on.
I'm rooting for the crowd to just go like full like let's go MJF in that match. To be honest with you, Monty, what are your takes on those 3 matches I listed?
So what was it? The 4-way tag match. What a fucking shame! What a shame! The Acclaim's first title defense on pay-per-view.
Private party.
Private party. Sorry.
There you go.
The Acclaim melt in my brain. That's what they've been doing to me in the past few days. Okay, Private Party's first defense on pay-per-view. Thank fuck it was successful. That's the only positive you can take out of this.
Wait. I'm gonna pause everybody. Of all matches to choose, this is the match that Malachi Black decided. I'm gonna go dumb. I'm gonna go crazy in this.
Hey, he was good in the FTR match. He done his bro. Yeah, he busted his ass trying to keep up in that FTR match.
I'm like, why is he up for this? Because usually he's kind of just bored.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, here he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go in," and I'm like, "Why this match?"
Yeah. This match would have been so much better if it was just like Private Party versus House of Black. Like the Outrunners and the Acclaim had no business being there.
Bro, Private Party, just 4 ways. I don't care if it's tags, whatever. I don't care if 4-way, 3-way, 6-man fucking ladder match. They all fucking stink, bro. Stop it, please. Just stop it. They're not good. They're just not good. They're only ever good if you put like 2, 3 absolute fucking animals in there, like Drew, Sheamus, and Gunther. Do you know what I mean? And then you'll get something.
Demons,
fuck me, Or
they
like
had some really good 3-way matches.
Ricochet, Takeshita, and
Ospreay.
And Ospreay, like, okay, you put in 3, you're hoping like fucking athletic marvels together, then you can do them. But like to just do them, I hate when it feels like you're just doing them to fit people on the card because you're just making the match a fucking punt. It's shit. This was a waste. It's a shame. And I hated how like the main story of the match was fucking the Acclaim teasing a breakup. Like that's how you usually tag title match on pay-per-view, to do a fucking 4-way to tease an Acclaim split. Like just fucking put a bullet in my fucking head, bro. I'm so over the Acclaim. I even said it on the Dynamite review, man, to the point now where it's like I like Bowens a lot, but it's like I'm not even remotely as invested as I was in him getting that singles break, because they've just dragged this shit on for so long. What else? What are the other matches? Roddy versus MJF was very like mature and gentlemanly, like I kind of was hoping, because I did say it was like one of the sleepers of the night going into it. I think on the Dynamite review where we previewed it. But yeah, MJF Roddy, it was very kind of like mature, methodical, things of that nature. Went back and forth a bit.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It's just that like I was kind of expecting a bit more. I was expecting some more like fireworks in terms of like physicality and the pace, especially considering it's a Roddy match, But it was still good. I did think the finish fell really flat, which was a shame because like the actual like I actually kind of liked it, But it fell flat. That finish did. Obviously you was there, Ruby, so it might have been a bit different for you. What was the other match?
Hangman and Jay White.
Right.
Hangman and Jay White. I like this, but not as much as I like the last one that they did. I think that the way that they both worked each other's legs was it was excessive in that sense. And I love it when someone # sells the leg, But Yeah, obviously Jay White winning this, it's caught me by surprise, and it's I don't think it was probably the right direction, especially when you look at what they did at the end of the show. Like that was just straight
Very
up Vince Russo bullshit,
I just thought
I don't know.
I thought White beating Hangman was baffling personally, because it's like, why?
Hangman's bookings, bro. I
Very-
don't get mad about. I'm not the guy on this channel that gets mad about Hangman's booking. Yeah, like that's Charlie, Anna, AO, and fucking like you know what I mean, Chris or like whoever But like, bro, I'm mad about Hangman's booking. What is this shit, bro?
I don't.
Like, what are they doing?
I don't understand him losing 2 times in a row.
He's in such good form as a heel, and his promos, the way he's carrying himself, like Mikey Ruckus even hit with the fucking theme music, like that. They've got him. He's there, and they're like, okay, we're not going to do the match at Wembley because we want to do this special thing for Brian. Yeah, and even though I do kind of think it's a little bit like probably what they shouldn't have done, but like I can get it, and it's Brian, and we all love Brian, But it's like the way they followed up on him beating Swerve in that cage match is like disgusting. And again, like maybe this feud with Jay White would have worked better at a different time, and like you could literally see it in real time, bro. Like people now resenting Jay more than they normally would because like he's gone 2-0 in this Hangman feud, and it's like he didn't really help anyone in that sense, even though they did have a pretty decent match. It's just
it feels forced. Yeah, I don't know. It's especially since Hangman does the face to face with Mox at the end of the show. It's just really it's a
which made no sense.
It's like, dude, you just lost. Why do you want you just lost twice on pay-per-view clean? What do you mean you want to fuck?
Bro, man,
and then he's gonna lose again, and he's gonna get pinned. Like we know that.
It's just baffling, in my opinion.
I've got things to say.
Hangman is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and I feel like I say this every time he has the match, but he just keeps proving it. And he has been one of the best wrestlers in the world for like such a long time now. But now, like with this character as a heel in the ring, he could wrestle a fucking door and have a 4.5. You know what I mean? Like he's phenomenal. And I do, like I said, usually Jay White for me, he's kind of boring. I don't really get into his matches as much. But in this match, like I was into it because Hangman is just like that guy. And I don't understand how you can have that guy and then just, I don't know. But I mean, he's having a title match. He's still in evidence getting singles match. So I don't think it's like that bad. But losing 2 times in a row after winning the whole Swerve thing.
Yeah, that's the follow-up to killing Swerve.
Yeah. But I think it was Nigel that had like a really good call. I don't know if it was him, but like he had a really good call. He's like, every time that Hangman's in the ring, it feels like a grudge match. So even though he's just like having a singles match with a guy, it feels like he has like that feeling and that grudge in him that makes the match like extra nice to watch. Like you can put him against anyone. He's not in the C2, right?
No, Hangman's not in the C2.
There was brutal.
Yeah. We still haven't had an Okada Hangman match. Like, come on.
Yeah, he was penciled in the C2 until that changed roughly 2 weeks ago when they decided to make the 4-way match the main event of World's End.
Crazy, like it feels like they're using Hangman as the guy who like gets people over the hump to the next point, like they did with Swerve, and it's like, we can kind of do something similar by just having Jay White beat him. It's like, one, this isn't the same because the feud is it's framed completely differently. 2, it's different because Jay didn't have the momentum coming into it either, and it's just not like Hangman. Also, I don't think he's at that point in his career. Well, obviously he's not. He's in his like prime. He's on the younger end of his prime. Like he shouldn't be the guy who's like, he's the guy who makes this person and this person and this person. Hangman still needs to be like properly solidified as a top guy, I think.
It's all very confusing. Another thing that was very confusing to me was Ricochet's performance against Konosuke Takeshita.
Worst performance of the night.
So he was talking all week about feeling like he can lead this company. And I like Ricochet a lot. I think he's a really fun wrestler, and I enjoy him quite a bit. And I was very happy for him when he made the leap to AEW. And theoretically, the chains should be off, and there should be nothing in his way. Just kind of showing out and being great, and just giving AEW the justification to push him higher than he's been pushed. And so he wrestles Konosuke Takeshita, and to his credit, or not to his credit, but in his defense, the placement of this match was very difficult. It followed, like, it's after Ospreay's match, which is this style done like a lot better, and it's Will Ospreay. It's really hard to follow him, but again, he wrestled Takeshita, and like this isn't a bad wrestling match, but it just had the intensity of like an hour, like a 9 p.m. Collision match. Like I thought I was watching Collision or something. It was very TV. Like it was TV as fuck. And I can't remember the last time I saw a Takeshita match this middling, just this okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't have matches like this. He has bombastic, blowaway, explosive, incredible singles matches, and that's not what this was. This was like very, in my opinion, pedestrian. So I was disappointed with this one. Did you feel the same way about this, Anna? Because I just thought it was like very like whatever.
Yeah, and that was so surprising to me because I feel like on paper that was match of the night. You know, if you see like the whole lineup and you see the graph, like Ricochet and Takeshita, especially because they had the triple threat and all of their interactions in the triple threat were also like so beast. And it's Takeshita. Like I do not remember the last time I've seen a Takeshita match, and I didn't think it was anything less than like fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
You know, like he's not the kind of guy that goes out there and he has matches that you're like, yeah, it's okay. Like he's the guy that you watch and you like blows your mind how he can be like that good. And Ricochet, like he's also been having like good performances and stuff when we know what he can do in the ring. So I just think that the style that they decided to work and the rhythm that they decided to work was just a bit disappointing. I don't think it was a bad match. I think it's a match that if any other like wrestlers had done this exact same match, maybe would have been like more kind on it and think it was better. But because it's these two wrestlers, the expectations were way higher for them.
Yeah.
And the fact like it just felt like a bit off, you know. I feel like they definitely 100% have a way better match in them. So I'm just curious why they did this, like why they decided to. I'm just kind of dumbfounded because I feel like if they had just done like an explosive, crazy match, crazy moves, like what we know they can do, that could have been like amazing. So I just got like confused by it. But I would like to see a rematch and for them to just go crazy and have the match that we know they can have. That was a bit disappointing.
I do think, I mean, they can't do that because Takeshita's not in the C2, so it's going to be tough. But I would like to see them fix this and have a better match at some point. Very disappointed. Go ahead, Monty. Break my heart. I'm ready. I'm ready to beaten, man. Go ahead. Lay it on me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Just gotta say, you know.
All right, bro. Fucking Ricochet. Let's talk about it. Ricochet, for his standards and the expectations that we've put on him coming into this promotion, he has not had one good performance, bro. Like, not one. Like, for the level that we hold him to and the level of expectation, and as he's been mentioned, like, the chains are off now. You know, Ricochet's going to go crazy and there'll be rare tear and all this and that. And he's just kind of, he comes in and he has like these TV matches where he's just like, he's just not setting pace the way you want him to. They're not as bombastic as you want him to be. He's not being where the flips X, Y, and Z, and it's like, what the fuck's going on? You know, oh no, he's saving it for the Ospreay match. He's saving it for this match. He's saving it for that. And then we get to the Ospreay match, and it was like, he's pretty good, but he was just like, it wasn't this fucking. Considering the legend of their first match and obviously the unfair expectations that were put on it, the match was just kind of like, bro, he kind of just fit in the furniture of a typical Dynamite match, to be honest.
You know what, Monty? A lot of his TV matches were very like polite. I did think the Ospreay one, while not being like the iconic matches of the Super Juniors,
it was good.
I did think it was real. I thought it was really good. My God,
the triple threat was really beast to me.
It was the triple threat. Obviously, like I said,
that was.
It's kind of like when you're plugging each other's spots in and stuff, and it's just such a good kind of the way it came together on the night. But the Will Ospreay match again, like it was good, but it wasn't. You know, like you say, you thought it was very, very good. I'm not quite there at all. You know, I thought it was just kind of like a good Dynamite match, which again for. People spent years fantasy booking that match, bro. You know, so it's like, I don't know, bro. And he's having like these polite performances again, as you just said, Ibu. And it's like you get to this match with Takeshi, you're like, all right, bro. Let's, the chains are off now. X, Y, and Z. You've not quite, planted your flag or anything like that yet. You're tweeting, you're talking big on Twitter, talking about you think you can carry this promotion or whatever the fuck you were saying, and then you go out there and have a fucking 2.5-star match with Takeshita. It's I don't know, man. I kind of had worries about Ricochet coming into this promotion because like I'd watch Ricochet in WWE and he'd be very, very, very good in that WWE setting. And it would be easy to kind of like be like, oh, he deserves more and he can do more. And he's like, imagine if he could do X, Y, and Z in AEW. And as I'm watching it and I'm watching AEW at the same time, and I'm seeing people like, you know, I'm seeing these people emerge, like these talents emerge in AEW, like Will Ospreay getting over, Bandido's short little run, Vikingo popping in and stuff like that. Ray Phoenix obviously just being Ray Phoenix over the years. And it's just like, is what Ricochet does going to really stand out that much in AEW in 2023 or 2024 whenever he gets there? Like, that's always something I've had kind of in the back of my mind with him.
It sounds like what you're asserting is, you know, I don't know how familiar you are, Monty, but every year the NBA does the dunk contest in All-Star Weekend. And in the 80s, people would blow your mind by doing a dunk where it's like from one side of your hand to the other side of your hand. You'll jump from like this distance, and those will blow your mind. And then you hit in the 90s and the athleticism changes, and all of a sudden people are doing 360 dunks and reverse dunks and whatever the fuck. And the point I'm getting at is the dunks that blew your mind in 1988 are very, you know, routine in 1998. The dunks that were blowing your mind in 2005 are things that everybody
pretty much, to be honest, bro. I think it's just a thing where like the game is, it's not like us, because again, it's not like Ricochet's like washed. Like, I'm not watching him out there and he's struggling to move around and he looks really slow. It's not that. It's just that like he's not gonna wow you the way that he would have fucking 8 years ago, bro. Especially in a company like AEW where they can fucking ring up Vikingo tomorrow. Well, he's injured, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you can ring up Vikingo or fucking whatever tomorrow and they can come in and do like fucking shit you've never seen before, you know?
What I struggle with this though is I always felt like Ricochet, even though people said he was just the guy that does flips, right? Personally speaking, I didn't think the only appeal of his match was doing impressive things. Like, personally, I thought like he was quietly better than given credit for in terms of structure, when to place his big stuff, making sure it pops by putting it in certain points. And I thought even in WWE in a restricted role, he got an even better handle for that thing. So I think more than anything, it's less about the fact that his stuff isn't impressive. I think it's more the fact that like his matches just don't his work itself doesn't have the like burst or pop.
It don't stand out. It doesn't stand, and I think with someone like Ricochet, it needs to stand out, bro. The way
I know what you're saying. Like, look, yes, there's a lot of athletic hybrid style workers in AEW. It's harder in that respect, but even beyond that, Will Ospreay stands out. But that's because he's doing it at a level above everybody. I think Ricochet's problem beyond anything. Yes, there's guys who wrestle like Ricochet, but like he needs to do it at a 10 out of 10 level. He can't do it at a 7.5 out of 10 level. Everybody in AEW, a lot of people in AEW can do that. You know what I mean? Like Mike Bennett could probably have a match with Takeshita that was roughly around the same level, like at that show.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And it's Mike, like, and he's just a prelim tag guy. You know, it needs to boom and burst. The reason why Nathan Frazier stands out now is because he has fucking turbo jets in his knees and shit. He's explosive. Ricochet, now I have to like go back and like rewatch his like Dragon Gate NXT stuff to see if like did he just get slightly slower? Is it just kind of like the pop isn't there? Because you're kind of
he's less free. Do you know what I mean?
You're implying it's a case of the game almost passing him by. And I think it may be more of the thing of just like at 36, he's still very good, but his stuff just doesn't have.
He's 36.
I believe so. I think he's 36. Yeah, you know, and he's wrestled. He's been wrestling since he was a teenager. You know, and
I think the physical thing. I think physically. So again, I'm not watching him thinking, oh man, he lacks this and not. So like he moves around pretty fine, to be honest, bro. Even at 36, with the wrestling style that he's had and the miles that he's put on his body, man, he's pretty fresh in that regard. It's just I do think there's kind of something on what you were saying though, like kind of over all the time he spent in WWE as well. It's just kind of not to say like all the WWE, like to put it on WWE, but it's like you do pick up habits and stuff like that. Like he does feel like his approach is a lot more measured now, where that wasn't really the appeal of you know, Prince Puma, like the sort of the version of Ricochet that you want to see in like in AEW, you know. I think it's a weird one, man. I do honestly like yeah, I do think like there is in this day and age, you got to think like Ricochet and Will Ospreay are almost like 1 and 2 or very close to being like the most kind of like wowing wrestlers about, you know, whereas like now Ricochet's definitely felt a lot behind in that regard, whereas Will Ospreay, because he's got so many physical gifts as well, like he's so explosive and like his striking has leveled up over the past few years so much so as well, but like he's got so much better just in general, everything in ring. So he's managed to actually like keep that like allure and aura around him, where he's like, he is like, you know, he's now he's like 5-star Will, you know, rather than like, oh, he's just a flippy guy. Like we all know it's part of his game, but like back in the day when he was a great prospect, he was the flippy guy, you know, whereas now he's a more complete wrestler. Ricochet again, he's developed and he's well-rounded his game a bit more, but he's almost like he's I don't know, like some of that kind of like creative freedom and all that.
You know what I think, Monty? I think weirdly enough, Tony's doing this thing where he's putting Ricochet against other like athletic guys and going, "Oh man, have that match." I think the actual thing that'll unlock Ricochet is contrast, and so I think in the C2, for example, right, his match with Brody King will be one of his better matches. I think it'll pop more and shine more when he's just selling and fighting a big guy and exploiting openings and weaknesses and having to kind of get over the hump with his gifts. I think that pops more than like, oh, Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara this week, Ricochet versus AR Fox this week. I think it's not about putting same style versus same style. It's about the contrast accentuating what these guys are. You know, big Brody King versus, you know,
styles make fights, brother.
Correct, and I think that's going to help him too. So I think that's what's gonna be the case here. So we shall see. I don't know how you guys felt, but I was go ahead, Anna.
I was just gonna say that I feel like maybe he's still too much in his head with the WWE style, and I feel like he just needs to like work that out. And this C2 is gonna be a good opportunity, I think, because it's gonna be like a lot of matches in a row, so he can really just like find his style again and hopefully like work those things out and get the WWE style off his system maybe.
It's weird though, Anna, because he had performances on Raw this year that were more explosive than this. And I was talking with some of my friends about this. I think he's also letting like social media criticism get to his head about the whole like Ricochet doesn't sell, all Ricochet does is flip. And I do think he genuinely kind of like internalizes that and tries to like show that that isn't what I am, when it's like, dude, just be who you are. Who gives a fuck?
Just embrace it, yeah.
The people that like bury you for that don't really care for AEW anyway. So it's like you trying to dispel that and disprove that. You're doing that for an audience that it's not going to affect them either way anyway. So just be yourself. So we'll monitor how things go for Ricochet. Hopefully things pick up. I don't know how you guys felt, but Bobby Lashley and Swerve was interesting for me because at the beginning of this match, like they weren't really doing anything crazy, but what really stood out in the arena was that aura and presentation and cool factor is everything. Because I'm sitting in there, and it's like they're not like doing anything out of the ordinary compared to some of the previous matches on the show, but people just like these guys. They just like them. They buy them. They clearly see them as credible, especially like Bobby Lashley. You just look at him; he jumps off the page, and so they were just over in the arena. And then you have two excellent managers in Prince Nana and MVP, and they will not allow the match to be quiet, because if it ever settles down, as MVP starts conducting the fans, he takes his fucking like stick and he's conducting them like a maestro, and they're like, "We hurt people, we hurt people," and then like Nana starts getting going on his side. And he's like, "Whose house? Whose house?" And I'm like, I'm just watching these two just masterful managers doing their jobs, and I'm like, the beginning parts of this match where they're just kind of going through the gears, there's all this heat for it because like the managers are great and the people just buy these characters and they buy these acts, and it did turn into a really fun match by the end. I thought they did some cool stuff. Bobby Lashley spear Swerve to a barricade, we break a table, Bobby does some of his power spots, and ultimately Lashley wins with a full Nelson. Swerve gives up and submits, and Lashley gets a very
passes out.
Yeah, he passes out. Yeah,
he passed out. Yeah. And Lashley gets a very important first singles victory, first high-profile one in AEW. Did you like this, Anna?
I did. I think, I mean, was one of the shorter matches in the card, right?
Thankfully.
Not
thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was yeah, but I think it was very much what it needed to be. Like I said, in the beginning I wasn't like fully sold. But I love them both, and I fully agree with what you said. You know, like I saw a tweet this week. They were talking about like, oh, there's a difference between actors and movie stars, and there's people who are both. And I feel like in wrestling, there's the same thing. You know, there's a difference between like good wrestlers and like superstars, like huge, you know, people that have just that energy, and people who are both together. And I feel like both Lashley and Swerve, they're just both together, so they can be in the ring just doing, like you said, just very basic moves, and you're still gonna be into it because they just have that thing around them, like the aura, like people say, or whatever. They just have that, you know. So even if when they were still doing just like the more basic moves, I was still into it, and I don't think it was like match of the night or anything close to that, but like it was very, very good for what it needed to be. I'm excited to see more of Lashley, and that stomp through the table, that was insane. Like Swerve is still out of this fucking
Yeah, it was a
world.
great
Like,
spot.
Swerve is just fucking phenomenal, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with Lashley now. Like who are gonna be his opponents, like what is gonna happen there. I'm still a bit think it's still a bit like blurry with that, like which direction is going, but I just love the Hurt Syndicate, not Hurt Business. I love them, and I'm glad that they're finally having like a place in it to showcase themselves and to like, you know, get that spotlight that they so rightfully deserve. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it's gonna go and what's next for Swerve as well, because he lost like kind of 2 rivals in a row. So
your hanger select here is that this feud is not over. It will be continuing.
Nice.
Yeah, my big takeaway coming out of this was just that it was effective. I thought it was an effective singles debut for Bobby Lashley. What did you think, Monty?
Oh, bro, thank fuck for this match. At this point in the show, I think this is following like what Jack Perry versus Garcia, fucking Ricochet to Keshta, maybe like the Mina angle as well. Like at this point in the show, like I'm ready to like just I don't even know. You know, I don't even want to say it. Like, fucking thank fuck for this match. Like, this match wasn't a classic or anything, but it was, as you guys have already said, it kind of what it needed to be. Like, these 2 big stars colliding, and Big Bob getting his first big win in dominant fashion, making the former champion pass out. MVP and Nana, as Ibu said, were fucking great in this. The crowd was into it, woke up for it, woke up for the stars. This is just what the show needed at this point, man. Again, I don't think it was like this amazing match or anything, but again, it was just like, it's just what I needed this bad at this point in the show, because I was ready to, like, I don't want to say tap out, because I wasn't going to, like, I was ready for Moxley versus OC, you know, but Jesus Christ, it was a struggle getting there. The show's paced so weird. They're like fucking 6 matches went like 20 minutes and like hardly any of them needed to. But yeah, this I found my joy again with this match.
Speaking of found joy, Dragon Lee and the Creeds are going insane on my TV screen.
And Ray,
he's doing his best, but
come on, man, he's 48, man. Come on, you know, Ray in there, you know, give him his flowers.
And the skinny Creed brother in one leap is jumping to the top turnbuckle doing superplexes. Dragon Lee's doing like Hurricane Ranas from the ring to the outside of the ring, and then Ray's kind of just like, all right, you know, like, you know,
hitting the ropes, noise.
He's a crossbody, you know. Like,
yeah, we love Ray though. You know?
I do love Ray. Yeah, so I was a big fan of that too, man. I was a big fan of the match. I was also a big fan of this main event. I wasn't sure how good this was going to be, Orange Cassidy and Mox, and let me explain. The feud was weird. And they had an excellent match in Chicago, right? But the follow-up in Full Gear was a kind of mid, whatever. And I thought this would be in the middle, right? This wasn't in the middle. This is more close to the Chicago match, because immediately John Moxley walks out there looking very anabolic. I flipped him off. It wasn't caught on camera. Marina Shafir knocks over a girl. Moxley picks her back up and kisses her on the forehead. Julius Creed just did a 450 splash. Yeah, like he immediately just like Orange Cassidy jumps him at the bell. Like they're doing introductions and he immediately just does the orange punch. And like they're going at it immediately. And then John starts to beat at him and bite him and claw him and scratch his back. He's getting kinky and dirty. And Orange Cassidy's bleeding. They're just going they're going at it. And I was just like, man, this thing really started with the energy it needed, you know, like a lot of this show was just back and forth singles matches with near falls. And towards the later parts of the show, the energy in the building wasn't as high for those types of matches. This one had energy and excitement. And really trended nicely. I was like, man, this is actively a great wrestling match. And then the interferences came, and I thought it could threaten to ruin the match, but it just worked here. Like my philosophy when it comes to just all these matches is if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And when the conglomeration came out to stop the Death Riders, it was hot. And my thought was like, all right, this works. And then I lost my shit when Marina comes in, and then Willow runs out and spears her. My brother's next to me. We were like, I jumped. I was like, oh my God, Willow's back. Let's go. And I'll tell you what, because Marina had been attacking all these dudes for weeks on end with nobody to answer her, it was a great payoff here that finally someone stopped her. And it was Willow Nightingale, AEW's best babyface, in my personal opinion. Someone who had been gone all month because of a concussion. Man, it was just great to see her. It was great to see her make the save there. Orange Cassidy thought he led to a big Orange Cassidy near fall. The fans are like, man, the strength of this match was that no shit, Orange Cassidy's not going to beat Jon Moxley, but like the fans bought for like a 2-minute stretch. Maybe he will. So some great near falls there, and ultimately Wheeler Yuta comes out there in a hoodie, and he Busaiku knees this motherfucker Orange Cassidy, and yeah, Jon Moxley gets to win. So I'm distracted. Dragon Lee is going fucking nuts. Like, I need to turn this off because this is distracting. But I thought this match was great. I thought this was like one of the 3 best matches on the show. I'd say it was the 2nd best personally, in my opinion. I gave it 4.25 on the WrestlePurists spreadsheet. I thought it was awesome. Yuta being the game changer is kind of meh, but I loved this, and
2
I thought
pay-per-views in a row.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a big part of like the closing stretch.
It's a bit aggressive. I thought this.
Yeah.
What did you think of the match, Anna?
I really liked it. I really love when Orange Cassidy, when Orange Cassidy, he works like explosive and he works aggressive, because usually in most of his matches he has like the whole personality, the whatever. But when he goes into a match like with the fire in him, he's just like another level, And Mox in this drove everything is just like perfect. It's hitting. I love the whole violence that he brings when Cassidy like he ran the blade and it was amazing, perfect. I just think it was just like a great match. Yeah, definitely top 3 of the night. I don't have much to say. Like the interferences worked. Everything with the Death Riders so far is clicking so well for me. Like they haven't done anything so far that I'm cursing it, like I'm jinxing it, but like so far they haven't done anything that it just hasn't really hit. Like everything that they're doing, it just works so well. And I feel like this was a great match. I was sort of half like expecting to be like a really quick match and to be just the murder of Orange Cassidy. And I'm really happy that it wasn't that in the end, that they actually had like a 20-minute match and everything like still worked for the story, and it didn't feel like it went too much or it was too little. It would just felt perfect, exactly how it needed to be, and just a very, very good wrestling match.
Yeah,
no complaints about this one. Yeah.
Monty, what did you think of the main event?
It was one of the most anticipated matches going into it, to be honest. The mode Mox has been in ring, I've really enjoyed. When Orange Cassidy is Orange Cassidy, bro. He's so reliable in these big spots. And I think Orange Cassidy's so good, bro. Like,
yeah, he is really.
I don't think it can really be overstated. Like, he's a pro. He's so smart. It's like after a fucking 80-hour show, as I just mentioned, that had about 20 fucking 20-minute matches on it. It's like, how does Orange Cassidy start this match? It's like with a quick start. Do you know what I mean? And it's like get straight into it.
Yeah,
and just like, and he builds he strategically builds the way by the way that he sells and the way that he approaches the match, in the sense that like we're building to that closing stretch where you can buy into him potentially winning this match when they do all the kind of like interferences and the fucking briefcase shot and stuff like that. And it's like he might just pull this off, He's so good. And like I said, Mox, really like the mode he's in at the moment. I think he's really he's obviously been trying to like figure out different styles throughout his time in AEW. I think like pretty much every reign he's had a different approach to his in-ring with. And I like this one a lot, I do like this one a lot. Yeah, a good match. It was as good as I hoped it would be, to be honest. The only thing I would say is that I was expecting like Orange Cassidy to be like fucking murdered at the end of this. And yeah, they did the thing with like the fucking alcohol or whatever they poured on him at the end.
Oh yeah.
But, like, I thought they were gonna like I don't know. I thought like I'm not even getting into the fucking shitty Russo angle. I'm sure we'll touch on that in a couple of minutes. But like, I just thought like the feeling at the end of the pay-per-view needed to be more of like, oh my god, like how have they just done this? Where there's no hope, and then obviously you have Darby at the end. That's like the last glimmer of hope, sort of thing. I don't know. Like Rob's touched on this a lot, and obviously you've done the pods with him. But I know you don't really talk about AEW. But it's just like Mox's it started off so strong as well. Like they were fucking putting bags on people's heads and shit, and they were taking people out backstage and shit like that. And it's just like now we don't feel as like it's not as scary, you know.
Here's the thing about Mox. I get what you're saying, but then the bell rings for these matches, and that aura is all restored because the way he works the matches is very much like menacing.
Yeah, of course, but that's when the bell rings, and when you're telling a story like this, it's so much more than when the bell rings.
100%. I guess the point I'm making is like this build started to limp a bit in the last few weeks, and then like this piece of shit, he just turns it around with the match because he kind of like reminds you like, hey, I'm still John Moxley, and then
he's a beast. I love the match.
Right, and so it's just about keeping up the momentum. I like the post match attack personally, and them just dousing him with whatever fluid they were dousing him with. So I didn't find that to be a problem.
A problem. I just thought, I think obviously you already know. Like I thought they were gonna fucking kill him at the end of the show, and he goes up in a stretcher and ambulance, like you know. And obviously it was far from that.
You're stretching the audience emotion thin if you keep doing stretcher angles for everybody. Plus,
no, it wouldn't be for everybody. But Orange Cassidy is very like sentimental to the AEW audience, isn't it? So I thought he was a good person to do it with. You know.
The problem is then you have to do a rematch with him where he's gonna have to come back in 2 months and you're gonna have to run that back and do it over again. That's the other thing with when you do stretcher jobs on baby faces, they had to come back for the heel. And it's like, do they want to do another pay-per-view Orange Cassidy match, or even just a one like on TV that's hyped up? That might just not be in the plans. So I don't mind that they didn't.
There's ways to get around it with this group though. So you could have had Mox beat him definitively and fucking it's like Claudio killed Chuck Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you could have then he sets up the Claudio match for when he comes back, not necessarily the Mox match. You know, obviously it still makes sense. Like I get what you're saying, but there's ways you can kind of get around these things. You know,
I guess. But after that, Hangman Page comes out, and he's staring Mox, and Anna. The live perspective of this was like, it was confusion and simultaneously like, I don't know what's happening, but we're just gonna cheer Hangman because we like Hangman. So we're like, fuck it, I guess he's next, even though he just lost to Jay White. Cowboy shit, Cowboy, like hell yeah, fuck it, okay, cool, Cowboy shit. And then like, I don't want to get the order of this wrong. He's standing off. Then he kind of teases with his body language, like that he may be on John's side, and that's when we're all kind of like, we're all in the crowd, like, huh, like wait, what? And then, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Then Christian comes out with his fake Money in the Bank, and then the fans are like, "What? Is he gonna what?" And it looks like Hangman's gonna like let it happen, and we're like, "Huh?" And so now we're all like very confused. And then Jay White stops it with a Blade Runner, and we're like, "Okay." And then I don't know how it looked on the live view, but everyone just kind of like walks away, and so we think the show's done. So we all kind of just like we're like, okay, because normally his thing at the end of every AEW pay-per-view, you get Justin Roberts going, "Thank you, everybody, have a good night." Blah blah blah. That didn't happen here. Everyone just like walks away, like all the people in the ring. So we're like, I guess. And so then everyone just kind of stands up and starts to head for the stands. So we're all getting up and we're leaving, right? And then out of nowhere, the screen comes back on because the screen was off. And the screen goes back on, and you see a car crash, like, and we all turn around like, huh? So everybody's already like halfway up the stands, turned around, turned around, and then like Darby comes out and he's just like, Moxley, and he tries to jump to the top of the car. He slips off, gets back on. He's like holding his skateboard shit. He's just kind of like, I'll get you, Moxley, and we're kind of like, all right, cool, I guess, you know. And then the screen comes back off, and then Justin Roberts is like, ladies and gentlemen, have a safe trip home. That was AEW Full Gear. And we're all like, all right, anyway. So I was kind of walking up, and I was online for the bathroom because there was a line for the bathroom. And the guy in front of me was like, what the fuck was that? And like he's talking to his friend, he's like, I don't fucking know, but very, very interesting angle that it's leading to a 4-way at the pay-per-view. What did you think of the ending angle, Anna? I thought rather than just, I don't know if it was like bad, it was just kind of like weird. But what did you think?
It was weird. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was weird. I think like watching from home was less weird because we could see that something was still gonna happen. You know, I feel like being there in person, that was probably more confusing. Can imagine. But I just think like it was weird. I think if Darby had come out and then jumped Moxley, would have been kind of the same effect. Or if they had moved like faster, so it didn't feel like such a gap of like, oh, what's going on? What's gonna happen? You know. So it was interesting. But it felt more of like a Dynamite angle than like a pay-per-view finishing closing. Like it was just a bit okay.
Yeah, it was very TV. Monty, what did you think of the angle?
Oh fucking hell. Hot garbage. Like straight up hot garbage. This was like Vince Russo pen coming back. Like straight up, like I know we like say it like because I think a lot of us what we do like modern fans is like whenever something's bad, we're just like, oh, WCW 2000 or Vince Russo. Like, bro, this was Russo pen. Like, why the fuck would Hangman come out to save Orange Cassidy, bro? Like, why would that happen? Is that even going to be explained? Like, what the fuck, bro? Why would Hangman Adam Page, who hates fucking everyone, wants to kill everyone, save Orange Cassidy? That don't make any sense. Then he has this weird stare down with Moxley. So what the fuck's then Christian Cage comes out with his contract that no one wants to see him fucking cash in or give a fuck about. And then him and Hangman like look at each other like, bro, it was so bad. Like it made no sense. It was just like, okay, how do we make a 4-way? So if we just book an angle at the end of the pay-per-view, then we just say that's the fucking main event for the next pay-per-view and we'll get away with it. And we'll fill in the gaps along the way. You know, maybe they'll try and make sense of Hangman coming out on Wednesday or something. Maybe they won't, and they'll just take us for dickheads because they've done it before. He made no sense. And he's like, again, to add on to the Jay White point, like, I'm the guy on this pod that really likes Jay White. I think he's good. I don't think he should have beat Hangman yesterday. Then you rub salt into the wound even further when you have him come out at the end of the show as the only babyface in the angle. It's too much, bro. So no wonder, like, your Ibus who are already going into these fucking second Hangman match, like, I don't really see it with Jay White anyway. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's expecting Hangman to win because it can build to a third match or something like that. And then obviously goes either way then. But to have Jay White go 2-0 in a row, obviously I know like their historical records like 6-1 to Jay, and that's kind of like a little bit of the thing that they're playing on. But he's just really like, so he beats Hangman, he goes 2-0 up against Hangman in AEW. And then fucking he comes out at the end as the only babyface in the angle, which is Moxley, Christian Cage, and Hangman. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? I just don't. It's just nonsensical nonsense. Just this is just garbage. Like, what? And it leads to a 4-way, and you two know better than anyone how much I fucking hate 4-ways. I hate them, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what? I'm fucking kicking his kids out, bro. He cries every fucking time I say anything. Anyway, bro, it does weird, didn't? Yeah, this was Russo bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. What are we doing? I expect so much better than AEW from this, and I think you especially know because we talk, but like I don't expect loads from AEW, but like fuck me, this was bad.
I will say this, Monty, and it was not a good close. It was very confusing, and a lot of the character alignments were very, very confusing and potentially inconsistent. But I did just watch Mayhem 1999 last night. Do not invoke the name of Vince Russo. This is
Russo bullshit, bro. When he would do those angles where people would run out just for the sake of fucking running out, like, bro, this was Russo bullshit at the end of a pay-per-view.
I just watched Mayhem 1999.
Yeah, bro, that's peak.
There are like levels. There are
there's levels to Russo's bullshit. Is there not? Do you know what I mean? Russo was involved in some of the best angles we've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? There's levels to Russo's bullshit.
This is like Bruce Pritchard MLW. This is like This is just like dumb and sloppy and like confusing,
Which is Russo, bro. This is reminiscent of like Russo just before he fully fucking lost the plot.
Sure. But
no,
like,
but again, I said there's levels to Russo. Like, I'm not saying this is the peak of Russo nonsensical bullshit, but this is Russo pen for me.
It wasn't very good though as a close. It was very, and what I'm actually dreading is the inevitable 4-way promo segment where they have to kind of like all plead their cases for the title, because what I don't like about multi-man matches more than anything is usually like the way you have to build them. It's always convoluted, and it tends to just be a bunch of grown men like whining. Because it's like, I should be the champion because of this, and I should be the champion because of this, and I should be the champion because of this. Well, it's a promotion where people can fight and winners become champion and qualify, but now they're gonna have to justify that all of them qualify. So again, it's gonna probably be convoluted, and I'm not looking forward to that personally. But yeah, an excellent main event match followed by a very baffling post match. And that was Full Gear. 4 hours, 3 great matches, a couple other things that were all right, some things that weren't very good at all. Pretty long and a pretty baffling ending. Shout out to the Costco guys. They brought the boom. And that was Full Gear. Before we close this show out, we do have to read the super chats. Before we do that, because just to make it where this is, Anna went out of her way to watch it. Anna, what did you make of Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes' promo segment? Because you've been gone for the last month, and Kevin Owens has been kind of running roughshod. He's been kind of lost his mind. He crashed out. And he like killed Randy Orton a few weeks ago, like literally just killed him.
Hell yeah!
And now he kind of like was just going off on Cody Rhodes, and a lot of people think that he's in the right. He basically was like, brother, I've been fighting the bloodline for 4 fucking years, and your fake ass, when I was by your side 2 WrestleManias in a row, is teaming with Roman Reigns, the man that's tried to like end my career numerous times. So it's your fucking fault. And I loved Randy Orton, and I did that to him. I hate you. And Cody with his whole promo firing back on him, and he basically was like, dude, like, you're making all these excuses and playing victim, like you want to be the top guy, but like the biggest problem with Kevin Owens is yourself. You screwed yourself. And he says all this stuff at Kevin Owens, but what really gets Kevin Owens is, you don't hate me, you hate yourself. And Kevin Owens turns around like, bitch, what? And he's walking, and you see him kind of go like, actually, fuck it. Which I love that part of it, because I've seen arguments like that, and I've had arguments like that where it's like you're so mad, and like you almost kind of like laugh a little bit, and you actually turn on like, actually, no, let me relax, because you're about to send me over the edge. But I thought Cody cut one of his best WWE promos personally, and I thought this was really strong. What did you think of it, Anna?
Yeah, I went into it very scared, because usually when you tell me like, oh, you have to watch this, it's just ass, So, but it was so good. I think it's generally one of the best promo segments I've seen like the whole year, no doubt about it. Like Kevin Owens, he's just incredible. Like, what a talent, what a guy. Every time that I love him as a heel, because every promo that he cuts, you can feel like passion, like it felt real. It really felt like they both believed in, oh, I forgot I have to be quieter. They both, I got like excited because of Kevin Owens. Yeah. But they both like believe what they were saying, and they spoke like with such like conviction, like they're both like so fired up that even though like I haven't watched like a WWE, weekly show in I don't know how many years, I couldn't care less about the promotion. Like in a lot of moments, I am sold. Now I genuinely want to watch this match, which was what they had to do, and it's what they did like so well. Like, yeah, I'm into this story. For me, Kevin is 100% right, because imagine like you're friends with someone and then you see that person siding with someone that like fucked you over. I feel like that's also an experience that we can connect. Like they brought real feelings to it, because it's
relatable
like
story.
Yeah, it's relatable. It's people that it's things that probably everyone went through or is gonna go through, like it happens in real life. So even though it's a wrestling story, you can connect with the feelings that they are feeling. And if they sold it so well and they put like so much emotion, the Kevin Owens is one of the best promos of like all time in the history of wrestling. Like I fully believe this, and this was just another showcase of why. And I generally think it's just like such a good promo, and one of my favorite Cody promos even ever. The whole thing was generally amazing, and for the first time that I can say like thank you, Ibu, for telling me to watch that, because it was really good.
Yeah, it was really strong. Yeah, and it's quietly been like one of the best storylines in American wrestling lately. And Kevin was they were doing this thing, Anna, where like he was kind of banned from the arena and banned from the TV shows for a few weeks. And online, Kevin would just he'd be posting these cell phone promos where he's just talking about like, yeah, I just think WWE is like a hypocritical company that tries to protect Cody Rhodes, and like I did nothing wrong, and da da da. And they've been kind of doing that build. So this is the first time they've got to speak to each other since like everything unraveled. But I think a subtle thing that also worked here for the segment was the fact that like Cody has all this bravado, but I think deep down, like in his soul, he knows parts of what Kevin is saying is correct. And you know this, Anna, because on WWE TV, Cody, he comes out and he speaks in a very certain, almost rehearsed way, and he talks in a suit, and he does his routine of what do you want to talk about, guys, and he inserts the city name and blah blah blah, right? But here, you could tell like he was gotten to, and he was unraveling. And you saw that because, and I didn't send this one to you, but after this segment, we come back from the commercial break, right? Cody's walking through the curtain, and like Carmelo Hayes is with another wrestler, and they're just kind of talking about it. And Melo shouts out loud, like something like, "Hey, Kevin's right." And Cody turns around, and the way he portrays it is so good. He's like, "What? What'd you say?" He's like, "I said he's right." I said he's right. And Cody immediately just like slaps the shit out of him and shoves him. And then like they have to separate each other. And Nick Aldis gets in, and Cody's like, "What?" He's like, "Get your guy, talk to your traffic." He's like, just losing his mind. And I'm like, that is a man that knows that he heard some real shit because he's tight. Because Cody Rhodes is normally the guy who's even keel, he's calm, he's in the suit, whatever. And even though he had all that rah-rah against Kevin Owens, like he feels some type of way about what Kevin Owens fucking said to him. So I thought that was very well done and well performed. What did you think, Monty, of the Cody Kevin Owens segment?
Yeah, it was really good. Feels like we're going into like phase 2 of Champion Cody, where he's got a bit more of an edge.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens, on the other hand, I think Anna's already pretty much said everything about it, to be honest. Like, Kevin's so good and like driving points home, making the audience, yourself, the fans, the viewers invest into his stories by just coming across authentic with like real grievances and stuff. Like, and obviously this feud kind of is like the cherry on top of the cake when it comes to that, because like Kevin is right. He is right, and obviously, Cody isn't necessarily a heel for misunderstanding it, because Kevin's actions, obviously, pole driving Randy Orton, which is like the main thing Cody stuck on with all this, is obviously that kind of negates everything about Kevin being right, And but yeah, definitely Cody's got definitely more of an edge. Kevin Owens is kind of delivering at the level you'd expect him to, which is very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's honestly one of the most interesting things about this feud so far. Is obviously like Kevin Owens has now been like woken up as this like fucking despicable heel, but it's like also like Cody having like a little bit of an edge to take him through into 2025.
And tell me if you get what I'm saying here, Anna, because like you're from the perspective of someone that doesn't watch the weekly TV, but like pro wrestling as a medium doesn't need to be complex or complicated to work. Like it's actually like a medium catered for like the dumbest possible audience. Obviously, like people just want things to chant and gestures to make, and just have fun. And so you don't need to be complicated to work. And like with the bloodline, the appeal is just big stars, the gestures, the aura, like acknowledge me, I'm the tribal chief, no, I'm the tribal chief, all that shit, right? And I can watch that and understand why it's popular. I can understand why people love it, right? But it is rewarding and fun when like these things can like be more than that, and so with Cody and Kevin, like when the performance is actually, because these guys aren't fucking actors, you know what I mean? And like wrestling's usually often bad when people try to act, but like when people can be believable in the performance, and when there can be more layers to like what's actually happening in the conflict that they're portraying, that's just to me like by far the best kind of wrestling. And so that's why for me it's like this is just the most engaging shit in WWE by a country mile. So that was just kind of my takeaway.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I agree like with the fact that, like of course we love the long storylines and things that reward the fans for watching, but I also think like with wrestling, you should be able to just drop in the middle of anything and still like kind of understand what's going on. And I feel like with this segment, I 100% like, even though I didn't watch anything that happened before, I saw the video of like Kevin turning like in the parking lot, but I didn't follow it anything. I watched this one segment and I was sold and I was into it and I understood what was going on. So I think it was just very well worked out, like the whole way around. Like I don't know, it just was like a good storyline, and I know the match is gonna be good. Like I know the match is gonna be good. So and now, like I said, this segment itself was so effective that it made me, of all people, want to watch a Cody Rhodes match.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you hate Cody. And you know what's the funny thing about it? There's a lot of non-WWE fans right now, right? Who are the sentiment for them is, wow, this is actually good. I'm locked in, and I would really like for Kevin Owens to win the fucking title. Like there were people DMing me like, "Hey, Ibu, you watch the shows. Is there any chance Cody's losing?" And I'm like, like please, just before I get too excited, is Cody gonna lose this match? So, we'll see.
Like I know he's not losing, but I would love if he did. Like absolutely love.
He might. For those like who are also simultaneously watching Raw, Braun Breaker, Monty, I don't know if you were looking at it. Him and Kaiser had like one of the best matches that Braun has ever had. I just thought on TV right now. But yeah, good stuff there. And then obviously we touched on CM Punk earlier when we were reading the super chats. He will be the 5th man in WarGames. So that should be a lot of fun. Yeah, man, that was worldwide. So let's get to these super chats and get out of here because this is I don't know how this went 3 hours. We were just kind of hanging out, to be honest, but that's kind of just what happens here with the three of us.
Leron Ford, $5. Have they announced who is representing AEW in the New Japan International Women's Cup? Who would you choose to represent AEW in the match?
Chris or Willow?
Victor, $4.99. Just catching up on the pod, but Jay White's good. That green bomber was looking nice. Ibu, watch what you tweet about my guy, though.
Oh, he saw me. Listen, man, I try to come correct when I go to these shows. You feel me? I try to, you know what I mean? I try to do my thing. Please don't run up on me like that ever again, though. I do carry a weapon.
Leron Ford, $2. Who picked Britain Sheeders?
Please don't run up on me, bro.
Leron Ford, $2. Who picked Britain Sheeders to face Mercedes on pay-per-view?
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Victor, $4.99. Also saw Ibu at the show go straight to the bathroom during Mercedes' match. What was up with that, Ibu?
This is
wow.
Boss. I did not do this. I took a piss after the show was over. In fact, I wanted to get chicken tenders, and I kept having the urge. My brother's in the chat. He could attest to this. I kept going like, I kind of want some tenders, right? And he's my conscience to not spend $20 at wrestling shows, right? And so I'm like, I want some tenders. He's like, don't do it. We were 2 matches left, and I was like, let me get some tenders. He's like, no, don't. It's not worth it. So yeah, but I didn't get up at any point during the show.
Cool. Mm-hmm. He also says you're 5'2".
I'm not 5'2", and when you ran up on me, I was sitting down. Stop lying on me. Stop lying.
Leron Ford, $5. Appreciate you again. Tony Khan needs to let Mercedes wrestle more often if the goal is to elevate the division. How he's used her in AEW to this point has been really bad. I don't even think it's a matter of fact she's not wrestled enough, to be honest. It's about like how he's framed, presented her, the feuds themselves, etc. It's just.
She should have more. She should have more matches on TV. So.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you could say that, but when I look at the Mercedes, I wouldn't say that's the issue. You know, that she hasn't wrestled enough, because like she has wrestled like a fair amount, to be fair, you know. But yeah, it could be better in multiple areas. Dingo, $4.99. What are the top 10 most essential matches to watch in here? Come on, bro.
You know what? Without thought, I'm gonna try to rattle this off right now. Ready? Okay. Chi-Town Rumble, Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair, 1989. Ric Flair versus Terry Funk, Clash of Champions, 9. Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 13. That's what, 4 matches? Okay. There's an Atlantis.
Say a woman's match.
I got you. There's an Atlantis Viano match in 2000. I forgot which. It's Atlantis Senior and it's Viano Tercero, I want to say. That's 5. Okay. Sasha Bailey, Brooklyn. I'm gonna put that one in there. That's 6. Fuck. I forgot the date on this, but I'm going to put one of the Manami Toyota versus Aja Kong matches. We're at, 7? We have 3 matches to go.
I was going to say Manami and Akira Hokuto, but that's also good.
Sure. Hulk Hogan versus The Rock, WrestleMania 18. I got 2 matches left.
No Misawa, no.
Oh my God! Fuck.
You ain't said Okada or Omega.
Yeah, I did. I didn't. I said it.
He said you did.
Yeah, I did. Don't confuse.
Like, but no Misawa, no Kobashi.
All right, Misawa Kobashi from 2003 in Noah.
What about Kenta Joe?
Say it again.
What about Kenta Joe?
I already put a Kobashi match in there, so unfortunately, I got
no Bryan matches as well.
So I was gonna ask, what AEW match are we picking? I'm thinking Omega Bryan.
Right.
Probably. Yeah.
We'll do Omega Bryan.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so
actually. Yeah, okay, fine. Fuck it.
There you go.
Probably has to argue it at this point in the show, you know.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Victor $4.99. You're being too nice. Scapegoat is who these motherfuckers think Jay White is like. He's Timu, TNA Raven, not even ECW variant. Yeah, Scapegoat. Jack Perry's just no good, bro. No, Jack Perry is not. Again, he's not. Jack Perry's a heel's no good. Showtime Spurs $5. Showing that heel turn fizzled. Saw Jack at Windy City Riot and thought he'd be brilliant. If he ever turns face to Tarzan Boy Pop, would be massive.
That's the thing. In Chicago against Shota Umino, that was an awesome match. And I thought that would be like a precursor to what we were going to see in AEW. But what we got was like significantly less good and fun and engaging. So there you go.
There was also something about that night with Shota where it was just like it kind of like peaked at that moment, you know, and he had that feeling to it as well. Like there was no way that was going to be sustained, like that heat and not that reaction that he was getting that night. And obviously with it being in Windy City, you know. But yeah, just as he said, just disappointed. Ryan $10. Hey Monty, and good to see you back. Anna, women's IC belt revealed to start Raw. Keep up the great work, WrestlePurists.
Yeah, I don't got time to get into this now, but I actually think it's cool that they're doing women's mid-card belts. They just introduced the Women's United States Championship. It looks like Mia Yim is probably going to win that one. That could have easily just been a dual branded, like both brands can go that. I think it's excessive to then also add a women's IC belt, because my personal philosophy, regardless of any company, so don't at me on this, is more championships is not a substitute for engaging storylines and creative. And it's not a thing where it's like, okay, how do we help the women? Just throw more belts in. No, how do you help the women is if you devote more time to them, to make them interesting, and then to put them in conflicts that will make people care. And I'm not going to care anymore for a hour 2 Zoe Stark Natalya match if you say this is now a #1 contender match for the women's IC title match. Like, it's like, what does that belt mean to me? It's just another belt you're adding. You know, and the more belts you add, the more you dilute the value of them, and the more they all don't mean anything. You're just giving people trinkets to feel important. No, you make them feel important by devoting actual care to them. So that's just me. When the NXT women who are spectacular get called up in 2025, maybe it'll justify this more. But right now, I'm not keen on 2 mid-card titles for the women's division personally.
Yeah. Ryan, appreciate you again. Wait, I was wrong. They just revealed it before the show. Sorry, but yeah, a new mid-card title for the women. I just say scrap the women's tag titles, but yeah, keep it the great work, WrestlePurists. Appreciate you, Ryan. And another one. New Day versus Alpha Academy is Raw main event tonight. Does Xavier turn?
No, the main event is Nia Jax versus Bianca Belair for the WarGames advantage. This will precede that. This match will be an angle, and I will leave it at that.
Leron Ford, $5. The presentation around AEW's women's division is absolutely terrible. Someone in the back really hates women's wrestling. Give Mercedes the belt.
The someone is called Tony Khan.
Will Chisholm, $2. That felt like a Divas era segment, sadly. This was it's probably the
Mariah and Mina.
Yeah.
Victor Croco Cry 5-1. It's probably for the Jay White haters, isn't it?
I think it's for the Mark Briscoe fan.
He's 6-1 though, isn't he? Against Hangman.
No. I thought he was talking about the seats too.
This is what I mean. I don't know. Maybe because he was talking about
it's
Jay
3 a.m. guys. Like,
I was gonna say, like, you could see Monty and Anna slowly getting more cooked. You know, like there's. What's this one? Just a chill guy, Victor Gonzalez, another $4.99. The 3 worst people to have a pinfall victory over Hangman are Punk, Evil Uno, and MJF. Thanks for
Evil Uno is nasty.
Okay.
Anjan PN $2. TK still pissed because his Pookie was driven away.
CM Punk.
Nah, you wanna I think he's actually like I've just said, like I'm pissed about Hangman's booking now because it's so like nonsensical and just fucking dumb. What I will say is though, is like, you know how people are like, oh well, Tony Khan's obviously got an issue with him, or Tony Khan thinks he's I don't think Tony Khan like hates Hangman or anything like that, you know.
If you guys want actual legitimate facts, any residual weirdness that fell on Hangman for anything CM Punk did, it did exist, but it dissipated around like the fall of 2022. And it fully ended when John Moxley basically told Tony Khan, this guy is one of the best wrestlers in the company. I don't give a fuck what anybody says about him. I don't care what anyone blames him for. He's one of our best guys, and we have to make a point to reestablish that on TV. I want to work with him in a storyline. And that's when they did the segment where Hangman was like, I'm angry, I'm depressed, the medicine isn't working. And they did that whole storyline. So there was some weirdness there and some weird semi-heat on Hangman Page. But it lasted like 3 months. And that's
exactly. That's what I mean. So we're going into 2025 now. People are still like, oh, Tony Khan hates Hangman. And I know Anjan's joking because that's what he always does, but he did bring up kind of like a take that I've been seeing, like obviously since he lost to Jay White again. That's just shit booking, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just shit booking. So yeah, Let you accuse you $94.5. Bobby being so cool that he botches another heel run would be hilarious. Probably he's just too much of a badass to hate. The Brock Lesnar effect. Yeah, man. Maybe not quite the time to bring up the Brock Lesnar effect in such a positive tone, but like I get what you mean, brother. You know, I get what you mean.
I was gonna say like,
another thing you missed when there was this whole fucking mystery about the fifth person of WarGames. There was a lot of nasty like, what if it's Brock? And it's like, can you guys please stop doing this, please?
Brock's not coming. It can't be Brock, bro. Like, it's just like, you've already said this, you know. And it's not like this big thing that's blew up or been aggregated loads and that. But it's like WWE's legal department are like, bro, Brock can't come back. So it's like he's not cleared by AEW, no, by WWE legal. So it's not. It doesn't matter if Triple H wanted him to be the fifth man or not. So he's not coming back until
there's also like no need. Like even there's no need.
I'm telling you guys what's going to happen. He's going to get paid until his deal expires, and then that will be that. It just kind of is what it is. That's the situation. Yeah.
Obviously, depending on how this civil suit goes, obviously, you know, because fucking anything could happen, but it's not looking good, is it?
Mm-hmm. They're about to get like presidential, like how do you call pardon or something?
Well, it's a civil suit, isn't it? So it's like you wouldn't need a presidential pardon. But like, yeah, definitely. I know what you're saying, no, because if it's been investigated at a federal level. So if it did actually go to that level, then I'm sure Trump probably would pardon him. But
there was a Raw review I was doing with Rob, and Chris showed up. And we got the breaking news that Vince McMahon is going to make another company. And we were like howling on air for like hours straight. We made so many jokes about like who would join his company and stuff. And we're like, there's a lot of yeah, you know, like
Brock would be the first one.
We were like Brock, Bobby, Mercedes, Baron Corbin, like Bryan Danielson. It'd be a wild list, but nevertheless, do we have any super chats on Monty?
Yeah, man. Pablo, who was the biggest star at their peak? CM Punk 2011 to 12 or Daniel Bryan 2013-14?
That's a different. Go ahead.
I'd say Punk in terms of like, I guess kind of like name recognition and stuff, but I think Daniel Bryan was like more over with the
in the building.
Yeah. But I think Punk was more a bigger star, which I guess is the question, you know.
Punk would generate more interest when it comes to online conversation and people talking about WWE again, because like there's this guy doing this stuff in it, and like media and all that type of thing. But like you said, like in the buildings, and Punk was over as fuck. But like Bryan 2013 was like kind of psychotic. Like people were hijacking segments to just name and shit. It was insane. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that's it, brother. That's it.
All right. Well, this show was very long, but also fun, and I'm really glad Anna's back. It makes me happy. Worldwide is complete. Worldwide is back. This is also the last Worldwide I will be doing where I don't also have Fightful obligations. So that starts next week. I'm terrified. We'll see how that goes. But
terrified.
Yes.
No, you're not.
I'm terrified. I am a little bit. You know, it's a whole new audience of people just going like, oh, look at a new Fightful show. You know, but
they've already got that out of the system, man.
Nah, then once I'm back, it's gonna restart that way when I'm like on the camera just talking to Sean about shit. But
you're gonna have your camera on?
Yeah, contractually obligated. Yeah, it is what it is. Financially worked into
Monty, you gotta update our contracts as well.
Listen, I ain't paying him shit, bro. No one wants to pay to look at that pay.
Come on.
Fuck that.
Come on.
It would also make the podcast like at least 15 minutes longer, like before we can go live. Because like, there was like a little stretch at the start of this year where I was like, "Ibra, bro, you gotta start. Like, come on, man," you know. And he tried, but like he would do this shit where he'd be like, it's you know, like, is my screen mirrored to you guys? He's like, what angle can you see of me right now? Then he'd go off camera, and then he'd come back and he'd be like, oh, well, how does it look? Like, how does it look now? You know, and he would do, and it was just like, bro, come on, man. And I couldn't deal with all that. And, good luck to Sean. Good luck to Sean.
Yeah, good luck to Sean.
This guy's vain as fuck, bro.
I got to do a screen test with Sean later. It was funny because I remember one time we were late, and Monty was like, because he was doing his fucking makeup, bro, just fucking doing his fucking makeup. And I was like, I don't have makeup.
Well, pampering yourself.
The outfits are gonna be nasty. Hangy fashion is gonna make a comeback.
When I go hangy fashion mode on the Fightful account,
oh my god,
I'm gonna rock 3 chains.
He's also just like terrible with technology and stuff. So it's like, but look, 2 weeks ago he was like, "Oh, I've got this new high tech updated setup now." Mm-hmm. He's like, and he followed that up with, "I've got a new chair that reclines." That's it. That's it. His high-tech, high-advanced setup that he's got is just a reclining chair that has.
with a desk on it, you know? Like, there's a desk on it. There's some buttons, you know? It's just real fancy schmancy stuff, you know? But we'll see how that goes next week. Again, I am terrified. Hopefully it goes well. And hopefully this turns out well and I'm able to balance everything. And I don't completely crash out and just leave wrestling media as a whole. So we'll see how that goes next week. I can't fucking take it anymore.
Nah, we're all right because we spoke about it privately. Like, the way it fits into your schedule is quite nice. So
yeah.
You'll be fine, I think. Unless you get like fucking abuse. But like,
someone said MXM Collection's third man. My brother said team. My brother said team who fits.
Hey man, always trying to show. He's gonna be showing enough chest. He's gonna be on the fight. He's gonna be in them fight chat like rooms showing chest.
The shirts like just button up to here or something. And then a chain, like a long ass chain. Oh my god!
You gotta do it. You know what I mean?
So as long as he's making his money, I'm happy with him.
Yeah.
You know? Absolutely.
As long as I know he's selling out for some real paper, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't mind, man. You know, you gotta pay back up, Hangman. But that's next week. This was this week. We had fun. We're all very tired. And I'm very hungry. I'm gonna make a taco. So I'm gonna go do that. Yeah, I'm gonna make a taco. You know what I mean? Put some cilantro lime crema on it. You know what I mean? You should look that up. It's a great sauce. You know, cilantro lime crema. You know, look it up. But that was worldwide. We talked about a lot of different things, and we had fun talking Full Gear and all that stuff. Tony Khan, I love you. You're my buddy. You know what I mean? And hope nothing but the best for you, Tony. You know what I mean, big guy. So shout out to Tony, shout out to AEW, the beautiful, incredible, best promotion in the world. Shout out to
best wrestle.
We're the best to wrestle. Shout out to Fightful and my awesome bosses Jimmy Van and Sean Rossap.
Come on, man.
Shout out to Wrestle.
You don't have to do that here. I don't pay you to do that, bro. I'll pay you as well. Remember.
Shout out to Montel WP. Shout out to to the lovely Anna for gracing us with her presence again. This was Worldwide. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Raw Review. Before you end this, Monty, Raw Review, like last week, late start, 4 p.m. Tomorrow. I'll catch you guys at 4 with Rob, and we'll talk about Raw. We'll talk about Braun Breaker having a fucking killer match with Ludwig Kaiser. I'll see you guys next time.